Bring it It's finally fall. Perfect fall weather here in Clayton, Indiana, surrounded by corn yet to be harvested, and two teams looking to harvest a win here this evening. The Cascade Cadets at home tonight against the Cougars of North Putnam. Tonight's broadcast sponsored by Endeavor Communications, the fastest broadband speeds in Indiana. Visit us at weendeavor.com, and by Wabash College. Visit Wabash College today at wabash.edu. Alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Kurt Darling. Jan, good to be back with you once again as we have two teams looking for wins here today, coming off of a couple of losses, also a couple of wins, but needless to say, these are two former conference foes that know each other really well.
Yeah, they do, and there's both teams just trying to get better and get hot, going into the last, not only tonight, but they have 3 games remaining, so they want to just play their best. Now, obviously, for Cascade, it's homecoming, and you never want to give up homecoming. So it's special for them for sure.
Indeed it is. Of course, it is perfect fall weather. The first day of fall, actually the first football game of fall. Mind you, we had summer last week, and it was just like summer weather. Now we have overcast skies, probably about the upper to mid-50s or low 60s here. Perfect fall weather and just, a good atmosphere here in Clayton.
Yeah, if you're a football player, and I played for a lot of years, this is your prime time. This is the temperature you want, you look forward to. Listen, these guys are 5 games in. They're in game shape now. Beautiful temperature. No excuses not to give 110% tonight.
And it's a good turnout here for homecoming at Cascade, taking on North Putnam here for the 51st time between these two teams. They know each other very, very well. They used to be West Central Conference opponents before it was actually the Western Indiana Conference for a little while, before Cascade went to the Indiana Crossroads Conference, which they are at now. But still, there's a lot of history between these two squads, as right now, last season, the Cascade Cadets, they beat North Putnam 9-6, which is, a very low-scoring football game. Probably going to see something a little bit different here tonight.
I think so. I mean, Cascade really wants to run the football, and they return most of their front line, so that's what they really are honing in on and getting better. So look for Cascade to really go to their bread and butter tonight against North Putnam.
The bread and butter being the run. Liam Farmer is their big dynamo running back. He is the 5th leading rusher in the state right now and will likely break the 1,000-yard rushing benchmark tonight here, and it'll be the first time that he's ever done that in a single season. But also on the other side for North Putnam, they know how to run, but also they know how to pass.
Yeah, they'll put it up. They'll kind of set up their run by passing. That's what they do. They're a young team. And when you and I talk, this is one of the first times, I think, in my 25 years of broadcasting that we're going to see 2 freshman quarterbacks go against each other. I've seen, obviously, freshman quarterbacks start. I'm not sure I've ever been at a game where 2 of them are starting on the same night.
That's right. You have Christian Kramer for North Putnam, the freshman quarterback for them, and then Brady Trelby going to be the freshman quarterback for Cascade as well. In fact, I actually talked with Coach Simmons earlier today about Brady Trelby, and he's gaining confidence every game as he goes, and because they're able to start kind of throwing the ball a little bit, they run a basically no-huddle wing tee offense, but they're able to incorporate some of that passing as he gains more confidence.
Yeah, and he's only had 2 interceptions, and that's not bad for a freshman with 3 TD passes, so he's just going to get better each game. And you know what? I hope to come back here 2, 3, 4 years from now and see these 2 guys as seniors, because it's a true blessing to be able to – there's no substitute for game time. You can follow behind a veteran senior, you can play JV, but there is no substitute as a player than primetime Friday night for your experience. So I hope to be able to get to see these 2 young men and see their names in the paper just progress.
And speaking of the paper, the coach for North Putnam, Scott Moore, he told some newspaper reporters earlier this week about how, they've just been making a lot of mental mistakes this season. They lost their first 4 games against North Montgomery as well as Southmont, South Putnam, and a tough Covenant Christian team, which they gave up 73 points to. But they bounced back against Cloverdale last week, 58-7 to get their first win. Needless to say, even though it's a down Cloverdale team, it's always good to get your first win under the belt.
Let me tell you something, a win's a win's a win. You don't get extra points for, who you beat. You have no control who the schedule is. You got to go out and play, and a win is a win is a win. And let me tell you something, I guarantee you North Putnam had a lot more fun this week in practice. And when you have fun, practices are better, you get inspired, and hopefully it carries over to tonight's ball game.
So two teams that know each other very, very well. You have the North Putnam Cougars out of the Western Indiana Conference, also known as the WIC, and then you have Cascade right now in the Indiana Crossroads Conference, 2-3 on the season, 1-3 in conference play coming into this one. Meanwhile, North Putnam, they are 1-4 on the year, 1-1 in WIC play. It's coming into this one. Head coach Scott Moore in his first year as the head coach of North Putnam, 1-4, of course, obviously. Then you have Connor Simmons in his third year, 8-18 in his 3 years so far at Cascade, looking to improve upon that record here this evening. Well, don't go anywhere. We will go ahead and take a quick timeout. When we come back, we will have more of the starters and, of course, Jan Bozier's keys to the game. North Putnam taking on Cascade tonight here on ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Fall means football, and on the ISC, we've got you covered all season long. Catch our broadcast live on television on MyNDTV 23 and Comcast 81, as well as streaming on ISCSportsNetwork.com. With a subscription to ISC for only $4.99 a month, you get access to our entire library, viewable anytime, anywhere, on our website or on the ISC app. Don't miss a single broadcast. ISC Sports Network. Football lives here.
Captains meeting at midfield here at Cascade High School in Clayton, Indiana, getting set for a big non-conference matchup between North Putnam and Cascade. Alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Kurt Darling as the Cadets and the North Putnam Cougars meet at the center of the field. Jan, what are some of the keys to this game for these teams to be successful this evening?
Well, let's take a look at it, man. And believe it or not, 1 and 2, and for the football people, they're going to understand is defense. Both these teams have struggled a little bit giving up points. Well, there's two ways to do that. Obviously, on defense, play really well, but your offense can be a good defense too. When you're moving the chains, guess who's not on the field? The other offense. So both of those go together. And obviously, with young teams, you turn the ball over a little more. So got to stay away from that. Defense, move the chains, turnovers.
And so there you have the captains shaking hands. North Putnam winning the toss. And so the Cascade Cadets again with a high-powered rushing offense coming into this one, averaging 290 rushing yards per contest coming into this one. Meanwhile, North Put, a lot less on the rushing yards, but more on the passing. 225 yards through the air per game for the North Putnam Cougars out of the Western Indiana Conference. Of course, we'll be seeing a lot of Noah Claycomb as well from North Putnam, 798 yards rushing coming into this one. We'll pause now here for the national anthem here at Cascade High School, getting set for this one here on the ISC Sports Network. National anthem performed here by the Cascade High School Marching Band as we get set to go here at here in Clayton, Indiana. North Putnam just traveling right up US 40 or I-70, depending on which highway you want to take to get here. Not too much distance between these two squads. In fact, Jan, these two teams used to be conference opponents back in the old days of the West Central Conference, and then they were also both in the WIC for a while before Cascade jumped to the Indiana Crossroads Conference, but still a sense of a rivalry game between these two
No
squads.
question about it. All these teams know each other, between different camps and that close proximity, read their names in the paper. So, yeah, there's a lot of common and a lot of notoriety on both sides of this field tonight.
So North Putnam won the toss. They've elected to receive here, and so they will be getting the ball first here on this big matchup here as Noah Claycomb is back deep to receive, along with a couple of other players as well. Wes Murphy. You'll be seeing a lot of them on the offense tonight. Kicking the ball away for Cascade is going to be Chase Schnarr, a junior, as he awaits for the officials to get set to go here. Perfect fall weather, overcast skies, Friday night lights here in Clayton, Indiana, just in the southwestern quadrant of Hendricks County.
And I got to tell you, Kurt, if I'm a ball club who put 58 last week against Cloverdale, now obviously Cloverdale's struggling a little bit, but listen, my offense is moving. They moved the ball, right, wrong, or indifferent. There's some momentum there. So quite honestly, if I'm North Putnam, I want the ball. Now I don't know if they got to be because of the deferral or not. I didn't see that, but if I'm them, I want to continue what I had success with last week. Get the ball on the road, see what I can do.
These two teams have both played Cloverdale so far this season. In fact, Cascade put up 74 points on Cloverdale, which is the second most points ever in school history in a single game. Of course, the record, according to Coach Simmons, who I talked to earlier today, set back in 2006 when they beat Cloverdale 78-0.
Well, that's tough. You're a young team like Cloverdale. You just got to go play.
We're underway here in Clayton, and Murphy's going to bring it up to the middle of the field, and he is walloped right there at the 22-yard line. And here is where we will see the North Putnam offense getting the ball first under the leadership of freshman quarterback Christian Kramer. Also, Noah Claycomb and Brendan Glaze going to be some big featured backs as well, as you see the starters there for the North Putnam Cougars here tonight. Claycomb, one of the leading rushers in the state so far, but also Kramer, probably one of the leading freshman quarterbacks, over 1,000 yards passing so far.
It's one thing to be a freshman quarterback. It's another to be on a passing team. And so, man, to be able to come out as a freshman and throw the ball, wow, that's pretty cool.
So Claycomb set in motion here. On first down, a high snap. It's just juggled right into the hands of Claycomb. He gets first down yardage along the sideline, and on the first play from scrimmage, he gets down inside the 35-yard line. Nearly a broken play there, Jan, and Claycomb is able to bail out his freshman quarterback.
Well, it goes right to my point. Listen, you have momentum. Your offense did some good things last week. Get the ball, and the very first play, just right over a right tackle, and the young man really goes for some major yardage.
So a huge gain of just shy of 50 yards puts the ball right at the 30-yard line. And the Cougars are in business already, going to Claycomb right again, but this time Cascade is ready for it on the opposite side of the line.
Well, North Putnam will run the spread. A lot of solo backfields or one running back. They'll just spread the field, and what they try to do here, Kurt, is to spread the defense. When the offense spreads, there's a reason for that. You're really trying to spread that defense out and find some gaps in it.
Christian Kramer has thrown 8 interceptions this season to 9 touchdowns. He'll be back to pass here for the first time, feeling the pressure. And it looks like he has his receiver, and they call that a catch as he gets that out there to Miles Bryan for his first catch of the game.
Well, that ball was a long way away from us, and I wasn't sure it was going to get there, but I think it did.
Taking a look at the starters here for Cascade on defense. One of the big contributors is Wyatt Noren. The leading tackler also has 1.5 sacks and a blocked punt this season. High snap again, and Claycomb is buried behind the line. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage as we work inside of the 20-yard line.
Boy, once again, another high snap. North Putnam has to get that fixed. That can be problematic. And both of them actually have went for decent yards, so sometimes those funny plays like that kind of gets everybody where's the ball at type scenario, and you find a little more maybe than really you should have.
Second down as Clayton has a hole, tries to turn the corner, picks up a few yards inside the 15. Again, Noah Clayton has rushed for 10 touchdowns so far this season. He also has some experience receiving the ball as well. He has 200 receiving yards in that regard.
Boy, North Putnam on a really good drive right now.
On the play action here to Clayton, stays on his feet, gets inside the 5, and finally is wrapped up by an amalgamation of jerseys, to say the least, but a big run by Clayton to pick up the first down. And North Putnam is threatening first here in this one.
Yes, sir. Number 6, again, let's give the big guys up front a lot of credit. They're doing their job, but what I like here is the effort after he gets through the line. He has really made himself difficult to be brought down and just really doing a great job running the football. And
so much so he lost his shoe.
yeah, he runs a lot better with cleats. I know that.
So the official giving some extra time here for Clayton to get his tire reinflated. And we're looking first and goal here, and now we bring a fullback into the backfield for the first time tonight. And Clayton going to follow his fullback. He's into the end zone, and the Cougars strike first in this one, up 6-0.
And I'll tell you, if you had a script, they just followed it to perfection. Listen, I talked about momentum is a funny thing, and a win does more for momentum than anything you could possibly imagine. And they look like a team that's having fun, got after it early, and boy, got themselves. And let me tell you something, Kurt, for somebody who played football, on the road, get on the board first.
So the extra point coming here, taking their time. And it's through the uprights and good. Therefore, Evan Polly getting the first one through the uprights. 7-0 on the board. The Cougars on top of Cascade. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
So after a very eventful drive for North Putnam to open this contest, Cascade will have their turn to try and answer as North Putnam on top of Cascade 7-0 here in this one. Alongside Jan Bozer, I'm Kurt Darling. Jan, your thoughts on that drive that we just saw?
I'll tell you, North Putnam was impressive, came out and did exactly what they want to do. And for a team that passes the ball quite a bit, they ran it pretty well that time. And I'll tell you, get on the board. You got momentum. You're carrying it over. Now you're in the lead. The lead is a great thing for the away team. Puts a little pressure now on Cascade. It's still a lot early, a lot of football to be played, but now Cascade's got to play with just a little more urgency about them.
Of course, the bulk of that running done by Noah Clayton on that very first play from scrimmage went for about a 50-yard scamper after it was nearly fumbled on the snap there by Christian Kramer. So it's a short kick, dangerously short, and it's going to be fielded just right there by the up back on the special teams for Cascade, right north of the 40-yard line.
I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. I think he was trying to kick it to the right. I'm not sure that was what he intended to do, because you just basically handed Cascade great field position.
Well, I neglected to call it an onside kick because you hardly ever see that on the first kickoff.
And maybe it was intended for that, because he's clearly aiming to the right just a little bit and just got his foot a little bit farther than I think he wanted to. Maybe they were trying. Let me tell you, you got nothing to lose. You got the lead. Go after. I love aggressive football. I love to. That sends a message to your ball club. Listen, I'm going after it. You go after it.
Still great field position to get things going here for the Cadet offense. So Brady Trelby under center against here for this wing T offense, and they immediately give it to the running back. That is going to be Damian Appleby getting the first carry. And he's across midfield.
Appleby, just a junior for the Cadets.
And again, they work a no-huddle wing T offense. So every player on this offense wearing a wristband with the playbook on it. And there's a quick handoff this time. And it looks like that's Farmer. And he gets down to about the 46-yard line. Again, Liam Farmer, one of the leading rushers in the state, 5th most at any class so far in rushing yards this season with 956 on the ground. And there you see Brady Trelby, the freshman quarterback. And there's a pass out there. And caught out by Logan Gibbs.
Freshman to junior, just an out pattern. Had plenty of time to throw the ball. Take a look at it here, a 2-step drop. Gets it right to the junior receiver, and just shy of a first down, though.
So Brady Trelby, so far so good in the passing game as we're working at 2nd down and 1. The Cadets moving the football. Farmer again gets the first down and is nearly to the 30-yard line.
Well, you talked about the facilities here. Isn't this a gorgeous little place?
Absolutely.
Not little. Little's not fair. It's a big place, actually.
Still,
softball and the football field, just gorgeous facilities.
Some still relatively new AstroTurf.
Looks great. I was here last year. Just great people here.
On the pitch this time, it's going to be Savini. And he gets across the 30 and is shoved out of bounds right there at the 25-yard line.
Well, one of the freshmen, and you talked about that Cascade will play a lot of freshmen. And this is a lot of great experience for a lot of young guys. Well, they don't look like freshmen, do they?
Out of 39 players on this roster, Coach Simmons has 16 freshmen and 4 seniors. That's it. Here's Trelby again. Fakes the handoff to Farmer. We got a flag on the play as he gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Braden Glaze on the tackle for North Putt.
Well, that was the line judge, and that's typically offside. Someone moving a little quick here. Let's see what the call is.
And it's going to be a
sideline
warning. So not going to be any penalty yardage here at the moment.
That was thrown on the North Putnam side of the field, so that's saying, guys, get behind that line. That yellow line, you'll see it throughout the game on both sides. You got to be back there.
And there you see head coach Scott Moore commanding his defense right now for North Putt.
You know, a lot of people say, well, that's a silly. No, it's not, because if you're an official and you're running and you run over the top of somebody, that's dangerous is what it is. So that's why that rule's in there.
Toby Savini again on the call for Cascade. Going to bring up 3rd down and a moderately long 3 yards here as the line to gain right at about the 22-yard line.
It's a big down for the Cadets, 4th and short. Let's see if what they call here. They're typically a team that just does base offense, and you do that with young people. You're not going to try to get real fancy, so let's see if they can do 4 here.
Handoff again to Farmer, and he's buried, but still looks like the ball came loose, and it's a fumble, and it looks like it's going to be recovered by the Cougars. Haven't seen an official make a signal just yet as they conference right above where the ball.
Well, I don't think it really matters because it was 4th, and I don't think he had enough for the first down, so really kind of a moot point unless he had enough for the first down.
So there's the ball on the ground. It's definitely a fumble.
Yep, Cascade had it.
Yep.
Liking that.
So the ball is right at the 25-yard line, and so it's going to be first down here for the Cougars.
Yeah, I don't think Curdy ever really had the first down, so while he fumbled, you don't want that. I don't think he would have the first down anyway. It was close, but I think he was a little short, either or.
So a turnover either way, and Cascade kind of leaving the door open here for North Putt in the early going.
Oops.
And now we have a flag on the play again. It's going to be encroachment on Cascade.
Well, a hard count by North Putt, and that drives defensive coordinators crazy because defense, you got to watch that ball. It's tempting. especially as quarterbacks are really good at that, give you a hard count and want to kind of tease you a little bit. But at the end of the day, you see those three fronts, they got to watch the ball.
Here's Clayton again, and another big run right up the middle, gets across the 40-yard line. He certainly runs like a juggernaut.
Yes, he does. I'll tell you, I don't know what he had for his pregame meal, but he might want to bottle it because he's come out with a vengeance, Kurt. Just following his blockers, running hard, refusing to go down. That's all you can ask out of your running backs.
Now, Clayton is another player who could get that 1,000-yard benchmark here, but we'll see how that plays out. So a timeout on the field here. Endeavor Communications offers a variety of internet speeds that fits your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Contact us at WeEndeavor, that's WEEndeavor.com for more information.
Wow, I was all excited about seeing this North Putnam's passing game, and it's been anything but that. They've really found a running game here, at least early. And when you can set your, when you want to pass well, it's because you want to versus have to. And you typically, if you can set your passing game up with your running game, you have a better passing game.
Excellent crowd here on tap, not just for Cascade, but for North Putt as well.
Homecoming, baby. That's the way it's supposed to be. Packed houses.
So the ball now at the 44-yard line for North Putnam. And already Noah Claycomb has been the workhorse and is so again on this one here as he goes right through the middle, gets another first down. And it just seems to me like he just follows gravity when he runs. And he gets another big one. And North Putt, as you mentioned, Jan, they're running the football.
Well, watch his head. A good runner always has his eyes up and sees the field. He's low to the ground, got good base, running hard. The other thing that's happening here, Kurt, on the young freshman, it takes some pressure off of him as a throwing quarterback when you can run the ball. It puts a lot of pressure on a young freshman if your core offense is just him throwing the football.
So second down and long here for Trelleby. Gives it off now to Claycomb again. He starts to the right, cuts back left, and has another big gain close to a first down.
Yeah, just shy of the first down with the spot, but nothing fancy here. It's my team against your team, isolation plays, and what they're doing is trying to get Cascade to really come up to the line, and there they are.
And another quick snap, but Cascade is ready for it as they send Claycomb back big time, and that's going to be a loss of a few yards, probably about 4 or 5.
Well, North Putnam, what they're doing here with this running game, especially when you're having success, is you're getting the linebackers to come up, the safeties are coming up, everybody's coming up to stop the run. But now Cascade's got to be aware of them throwing the football. Look at how many people's up here. See, 3 down, 5 up. That's 8, and so you got very few, and that's when you're vulnerable in the passing game.
So Cascade stacking the box here as North Putt working on 4th down and 4, and now we're going to have a timeout called here, and we'll take a break with them here. So back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Hi there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we do Query and Schultz on ISC Sports Network. And Derek, unlike Ted Lasso, we have a 3rd season.
That's right. Season number 3 right now, ISCSportsNetwork.com.
Are they doing a third
You can
season on
see
that show?
episodes on Comcast 81 as well, Mondays at 7:30. I'm talking about our show, Jake, this beloved show that people tune into every single week. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, so many ways to watch Query and Schultz every Monday, 7:30. Tune in and hang out with us.
And you don't have to be a goldfish. You'll remember everything we say.
Just north of 4 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Kurt Darling here at Cascade High School. The Cadets had their opening drive, as did the North Putnam Cougars. Well, the Cougars come away with a 7-0 advantage right now as the Cougars are facing a 4th down and manageable situation here. But now we might see that dangerous passing game, Jan.
Yeah, very, very much so. And in football, you look for small victories and what you want to win. Can we win quarter 1? That's the goal right now of North Putnam.
There's the pass just over the head of the intended receiver, Art Kramer. And so that's a turnover on downs for North Putnam. And Cascade will pretty much take over right where they had the ball the first time they had it, as this one goes incomplete.
Yeah, throw it a little high there. Cascade got the stop they wanted now. Now they've got to get their offense back on the field and move some chains, get some momentum going here.
And, of course, in small class football, going forward on 4th down is a pretty regular occurrence if you're in the spot to do it. And so, once again, Brady Trelleby going to work things here for Cascade. As, again, they give it off to Farmer. And it's a gain of about 6 across the 45-yard line. Liam Farmer, again, one of the big rushers. He broke the 2,000 career rushing yard last week, actually benchmark for his career against Lutheran, which was a game they lost 50-12, but still managed to put up some decent numbers. Man in motion again. And that motion man was Appleby, and he gets buried right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they tried a little bit of motion that time to try to see if they could throw the timing off. And North Putnam does a pretty good job. It was still up over kind of a trap play over between the guard and the A-gap. And North Putnam does a pretty good job of staying home, reading that, and really allowing not much real estate there.
Again, a no-huddle offense, which is the name of the game here for Connor Simmons and his wing tee. Quick handoff to Farmer and a flag on the play before we had any kind of chance at developing anything, and we'll see what the penalty is. And maybe no flag at all. They may just not have been ready.
I think they may have went before the referee blew the ball live.
Clock is stopped at 2:49 right now, having to reset the play clock. And so they do that. It's still 3rd down and 4. Farmer again on the call, and it is right at the 1st down marker, and they're probably going to spot him just enough right at midfield.
Yeah, and I think that's the best run for Farmer to date. The line got off the ball well, gave him a little running room, because he really had some momentum 2 and 3 yards into that run. Really nice run for Farmer.
So again, the ball right at midfield as Cascade couldn't quite get in the end zone their first drive, trying to get the first score of the game here for them. And a delayed handoff outside to Savini. He turns the corner, and he kicks on the afterburners. Goodbye. Touchdown, Cadets. But a flag on the play, Jan.
Yep. And those are usually not good for the offense. We'll wait and see. The flag is about the 29. Now they're going to move it back to the 31. Let's wait and see. That's typically a hold, and that's what it is.
So it's going to be a holding call on the Cadets.
Let's see if we can find it here. The ball, right there it is.
Right there, yep, on the receiver.
Yep, grabbing the jersey. That's a little too obvious. You can get those hands out there, but you can't grab. And clearly when you're especially right in front of the ball carrier, you got 2 or 3 officials going to see that. So that's unfortunate for Cascade.
Devin Weigel, the guilty party there. But still, regardless of that, it's actually a net gain, believe it or not, because of a spot foul. So
right.
That goes to the 41-yard line.
That's the good news of it being a spot foul.
So it takes the 6 points on the board, but Cascade still working pretty well here on 1st down. Here's the snap. Again, it's to Farmer. And he gains about 9.5 yards. He's awfully close to that 1st down line to gain.
And how many times you see that? If you got a big run, hey, listen, go right back to it. There's obviously something you found there that worked the first time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pretty good run again.
So they spot him just shy, so it's going to be 2nd down and 1 here. Farmer has been the workhorse, but already 4 different backs have touched the ball here, and of course here's the other one. That's Appleby, and he gets that 1st down, punching right up the middle down to the 25.
Well, Cascade really invoked a lot of movement this time in their backfield, and that What happens there, if you get a lot of movement, the linebackers have to read a little more. So sometimes if you can freeze them by reading, it can open up something.
Clock still winding, and Trelaby gets the ball off to Farmer, and he wiggles his way right through the middle inside the 20.
Farmer didn't need a lot of yards to go over 1,000.
Nope.
I do not think.
He did not. In fact, he only needed about 44 yards, and I'm sure he's right up to that.
Yeah, real close. Good, strong young man.
Already a 2,000-yard career rusher, and likely close to 1,000 yards on the season now. Here's Appleby again, and he falls forward, still just shy of a first down.
Well, this is a drive. This is what coaches talk about here, Kurt. You're in the red zone, finish. You got to finish here, get some points. Obviously, you'd love a TD, but you need some points near the red zone, out of the red zone.
Third down and short. This was a very similar situation that Cascade found themselves in before they fumbled on their first drive. Quick handoff to Farmer. Goes right up the no. It's actually out to Appleby. A nice disguised handoff. Gets it down inside for a first and goal situation. That had everybody fooled, Jan.
Yeah, I honestly, I think it's a little bit of a busted play that kind of worked to their advantage.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by ISC Sports Network. Be sure to subscribe to ISC for the best semi-pro, college, and also high school sports in Indiana and beyond. We are the home of the best live high school football coverage in central Indiana and have thousands of games in our archive from around the state. Subscribe today for just $4.99 a month at iscsportsnetwork.com. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa, from last to fast, and wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
7-0 your score after quarter number one here on the ISC Sports Network. Alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Kurt Darling. Well, Jan, the running game of North Putnam has been the big talking point so far.
Yeah, it really has. They've dominated with it, got 7 points. Cascade got into the end zone but was called back with a penalty. I thought all in all, pretty clean, well-played first quarter of play.
Meanwhile, if you're freshman quarterback for Cascade, Braden Trebley, you're just trying to keep the momentum going right now, leading your team down the field.
Yeah, you're at home. You know, you trail. You got an opportunity to finish the deal here. And this is where the captains and leaders and really come up and go, guys, listen, let's get together here and get this thing in the end zone. Give that little extra effort that sometimes down here it takes to get in the end zone.
So close to now for a score here for Cascade. If they can punch it in, they have 3 more downs to do it. Trebley hands it off to Farmer, and he wrestles his way into the end zone for a touchdown. And the Cadets looking to knot this thing up here in the early going.
Well, that's where your veteran, you give him the ball. He's got 9 TDs to date, I believe, and just he's been there enough times. He knows what it takes, follows his blocks, stays, and just wills his way to the end zone.
So that now his 13th TD of the season. Rushing, of course, he has 2 receiving touchdowns as well. So an interesting formation here for Cascade, and they're going to go for 2. And North Putt is all over that one.
Well, they did an unbalanced line. What you try to do there is just a math game. Overpower the defense. If they don't shift, you have more guys blocking than they do defending, but still it was read pretty well by North Putt. Did not work well for Cascade.
So Cascade leaves a few points on the board here, Jan, as we start the second quarter. So far, this has been a game that has the rivalry implications, and so far North Putnam, in spite of the fact that they lost their first 4 games coming into with a lot of momentum against Cloverdale, that momentum seems to be carrying over at the moment.
Well, let's see how both teams respond. Cascade comes back after getting down early. Let's see now how North Putnam responds after allowing a touchdown here. So that's what you always kind of gauge a team by. And a lot of that especially is still interesting when you're so young on both sides of the field.
So Cascade going to kick the ball away here again. Cascade going about 61 yards on that previous drive, mostly on the ground. In fact, entirely on the ground, on the heels of Damian Appleby as well as Toby Savini and Liam Farmer.
Well, let's see how Cascade kicks off this time. Let's remember the last time they kicked off, not sure what was intended. I kind of think it was intended to be an onside kick, but don't really know because of the way he pointed his foot and it went right. But let's see what he does here. I don't think they'll offside here, but you just never know. It's homecoming.
Beautiful night for homecoming indeed. A nice crisp fall evening as we play on here in Clayton. And this time they pooch it up the middle. It's nearly muffed. It's going to be taken by one of the big upbacks here for North Putnam. And on the return there,
there's the big guy.
A nice big play there by the upback there. And unfortunately, I don't have an 89 on my roster here, Jan, and that's actually going to be Kai Koning, the senior. There we go.
Big guy. 265. That's no easy feat to bring that down.
And so he gets that ball back to the 35-yard line. And so once again, North Putt has had a lot of momentum running the ball, but they've only completed 1 pass so far here tonight. That was to Miles Bryan for a decent gain to keep the drive alive on the opening one of the quarter. Long pass again.
Oh, he had him, too.
Again looking for Bryan, but just feeding him a little bit too long there was Kramer.
Yeah, he had some separation there, maybe had a yard separation. If he could have got him the ball, he had some room to catch it.
Kramer now 23 catches on the year, 505 receiving yards coming into the night. There's the offensive line of North Putnam. Dalton Arnold, one of the big senior leaders for them at center. Kramer fakes the handoff to Farmer. Looking to pass again. Has his man. A big catch by Kramer. Kramer to Kramer. Big first down for Putnam.
Well, I'll tell you, that ball was pretty well thrown. Play action. And he got, once again, North Putnam had separation back in Cascade secondary, and this time he finds the open man for a huge gain.
A big catch there for Arik Kramer, his longest reception of the season. And this time they give it to Clayton again. And he runs right toward the sideline for a solid gain of about 9 yards before he's held up. So Christian Kramer just continuing to sling the ball however he can. Again, a freshman quarterback. Coach Scott Moore certainly optimistic how he can develop. He has some legs as well. He tries to turn the corner for the first down, but is shoved out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you, Kurt, he's taken about 3 or 4 of those what could have been disastrous high snaps and was able to bring him down and get something out of him. He's had maybe 3 or 4 of those tonight.
Certainly one on the very first play of the game that was actually knocked right into the hands of Clayton. Speaking of, he gets the handoff and is immediately collapsed right there, short of the line to gain. In fact, that'll be a loss of a few yards.
Well, there's Farmer on the defensive side. He is one of their leading tacklers over there, if not the leading tackler on this Cascade Ball Club, and it shows you his strength right there. He does it on both sides of the field, Kurt.
In fact, that'll be a tackle for loss for Farmer. That'll be his second of the year in that regard. He also has a lot of help from Wyatt Noren as well, whom Coach Simmons describes as the Liam Farmer of the defense.
Now we got a penalty.
And it's going to be an illegal substitution, it seems, on North Putnam.
Well, North Putnam doesn't think so, but they're not going to win this argument, I don't think.
And so Coach Moore kind of looking for an explanation here as...
Well, he's going to go verify what the other official made the call, and what has to happen, he has to translate it to the white hat. And so North Putnam tried to plead their case, and let's see what Mr. Whitehat's going to call. They're going to waive this off. Or no, they're not.
They haven't made an indication that they're going to waive.
Yep,
Now, there it is.
There
okay.
it is. They waived it off. So North Putnam, you don't win very often, but they won that argument.
So a timeout taken here by North Putnam while they get that sorted out. Endeavor. So while we're in the timeout here, Endeavor Communications offers a variety of internet speeds that fit your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Contact us at weendeavor.com for more information. Again, alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Kurt Darling. North Putnam facing a 4th down and about 6. Call it 5 yards here as they look to discuss things over after the flag that wasn't a flag for an illegal substitution. And so now if you're North Putnam, you just try to keep the momentum going right now. Of course, a good Jersey night display here from the North Putnam faithful.
Boy, and I'll tell you, you won the first battle. Your first battle was quarter 1, and you won that one. And if North Putnam could put some points on the board here, then they have a great shot of potentially winning the first half, and that's what you want to do. You set small little victories in a football game. A lot of people don't know that, but you talk about what's our next little victory.
Kramer in the gun. Quick pass. First down. Again, the Kramer to Kramer hookup as Arik Kramer gets his second catch of the night. And that is a big first down for North Putnam.
We threw that one right in the hand, so he's now getting a little comfortable with his passing game, throwing some really nice passes.
Moore on the handoff to Claycomb again. Can't quite turn the corner, but still has a solid gain across the 15.
And he's not had the ball near as many attempts here in that second quarter as he did in that first. So North Putnam has really kind of opened their offense up of being a little more balanced. And I think they knew they had to get there, too, because they have been so pass-oriented going down towards tournament time. The more you can get balanced, the better you will be competitive.
High snap again. And right in the hands of his receiver. He was looking for Bryson Staggs there, and it just missed.
Well, you like Bryson Staggs for a couple reasons. He's a pretty good target at 6'2" with some length, and that causes a mismatch back in that secondary for Cascade. He didn't look that one in his hands that time, took his eyes off of it.
Another pass again, looking to the end zone. Wide open is Miles Bryan for a Cougar touchdown.
Well, they went right, and what happened, everybody starts looking that way, and boy, wide open in the end zone is North Putnam. Take a look here, right, and this time miscommunication some there for Cascade because he was wide open.
Devin Weigel, the man on defense who was beaten there by Bryan. And so another big touchdown for North Putt. And it looks like we're going to have a false start or encroachment or something because
all kinds of movement there on that front line for North Putt.
And so it's going to be a offside, actually an encroachment here on Cascade. So that'll only move the ball up maybe half the distance to the goal, so maybe a yard or so here. So not much of a difference on this PAT as we'll try again.
Well, with Cascade missing their extra point, these can be really crucial. If North Putnam can make theirs and kind of offset, a onesie, twosie point difference can be your opponent start chasing points after a while.
Evan Polly to try again. Going for the block was Cascade, but couldn't quite get there, and the PAT is good. Back in a moment. North Putt on top of Cascade here on the ISC Sports Network.
Leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable. Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
It's homecoming, as you can see here at Cascade. The homecoming court getting ready for the halftime festivities, which you'll be able to catch right here on the ISC Sports Network. Cascade and North Putt going at it right now, and so far, Jan, North Putt looking to spoil the homecoming here for Cascade.
I tell you, North Putt has just really came out and played tough on the road. Talked about that with regardless of what team you played last week. Obviously, the win had gained them some confidence. They've gotten the ball. Now the first period really was their running, and now the second period they threw the ball a little better. So Cascade's got to answer the bell here a little bit.
The Cadets kind of backed up into the corner right now, as still plenty of time left to go here in the first half. And so Polly with the short kick again, nearly goes out of bounds, but then it's forced to be picked up, and now they blow it dead.
Yeah, that's there he aims towards the right again. This time at least it's a little bit farther than the second time that he kicked that, but clearly he's trying to keep it away or just get it where it can just be blown dead and not really have to worry about much of a return. That time at least he got it down the field a little farther.
So that was Hobson, it appears, on the return, but it looked like he may have touched his knee down when he touched the ball. So that'll be putting the ball there at the 28-yard line.
You know, I've been doing this for a long time, 20-some years now, broadcasting, and there's nothing I enjoy more than coming to school's homecoming. You know, full crowds, the atmosphere, the kids, it's just something special.
So Trebley back under center again, this time looking to throw for the first time tonight. He has a man wide open, but just overthrew Weigel.
Boy, did he ever.
That had 6 points written all over it,
He
Jan.
absolutely did, Kurt. He had a man wide open, couldn't get him the ball, and you're right, that had an opportunity for some points. See play action, just got a little too much under it. In a case like that, that's where you learn as a freshman. Just get the ball to him. Doesn't matter how you do it. I certainly know he was trying to do that, but he lofted a little bit.
On the handoff again, this time to Farmer, it appears. And he gets stacked up right there after gaining a few yards.
And that's one of the things you learn as a quarterback. You learn as he'll develop more physical contact too as he gets a little older, obviously, when to throw hard, when to throw soft, you know, when to lead, and those things, while he certainly has a great grasp on it, will just continue to get better with game experience.
Coach Simmons saying that Trebley loves football. He was one of the first people to actually say that to him this season. And he says that's a sign that he has kids buying into the culture that he's trying to build here at Cascade as Farmer gets close to a first down.
And you have to build that. You really do. And it takes time. And I'm sure all the great people here at Cascade will understand that. If you're going to build a culture, you don't do that overnight. You have to give the guy plenty of time to develop that, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 classes to really get it where you want it. Now, this is what I believe this is his 3rd year here at Cascade.
So that was Appleby on that previous carry. He gets the first down. And another delayed handoff to Appleby around the horn again. And that's a nice gain of about 7.
Yeah, it really was. That was a really nice gain right over that B gap, or the right guard and tackle. And that took that. And what you like about that play took some time to develop. And that tells me that the front line is doing a good job holding their blocks in order to give him time to get there, because That play took a little while to develop, and you do that because you're trying to freeze linebackers.
Josiah Moraine as well as Walter Van Ness and Wyatt Noren, some of the big names on that front five here for Cascade. Farmer with a big hole gets tripped up, though, nearly broke free, but a big first down across midfield.
And Cascade, you called it earlier, Kurt, is continue to use multiple running back here, trying to keep fresh legs, just attacking this North Putnam. And he was one step away from breaking that, wasn't he? He just got a little contact on his feet that time, or that may have been 6.
Trebley on the quick handoff to Farmer. He gets stacked up, tries to find an alternative route. Instead, gets brought down behind the line of scrimmage, but not before he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Kramer, the tackler out there for North Putnam, really does a good job. Quick to the hole.
So we're inside of 7 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. And another delayed handoff in the backfield.
Somebody better find Kramer from Cascade. He's literally in the backfield as soon as that ball snapped. I'm not sure he's getting touched from North Putt. Take a look, number 15.
That's Art Kramer. Yeah, he was in there big time.
Yeah, just literally in the backfield for that play ever developed.
22 tackles, a tackle for loss, and also 2 sacks. He's leading the team in that regard for North Putt. So a long third down here for the Cadets. Farmer tries to make up some of it, gets ahead of steam across the 40, and at least gets them in somewhat of a position here to try and go for it on fourth down.
Big play now for Cascade. What will they do? Clearly they want to run this football, but this is a 4th and 5 play. You've got to get your best 4th and 5 play, and it can't be predictable. Let's see what they come up with. This is at this point in time in this game, this is a big play for Cascade.
So a long 4 yards to go here for the line to gain for Cascade. Back to pass, looking for his receiver this time. Caught there by a big tip. What a catch by Devin Weigel. And that's a big first down for the Cadets.
Well, Weigel's 6'4", a senior. Great length. This is a great opportunity to get a mismatch and great concentration. This thing's tipped, and he stayed with it and brings it down. Big play for the Cadets.
Tight coverage there by Miles Bryan of North Putnam, but man, big hands there by Weigel.
Well, you like to see a little more of that. That 6'4" length is a good target.
Here's Farmer up the gut after that play, and he gets down close to the 15. But that was probably the catch of the game right there, Jan, especially for Cascade.
Well, yeah, not only a nice catch, but clearly they need to keep this drive going here, trailing, and keep their momentum and keep them moving the chains.
Inside the red zone. Quick handoff again to Farmer.
Farmer's feeling it. Man, he hit the hole with a vengeance that time. He's really feeling it. They give him some room. He'll take it to the house.
And as one Hank Stram once said, they're matriculating it down the field, to say the least.
Kurt, you have now used 2 16-letter words on me that I don't know that I've used in a broadcast before, but I like it. I think about it, but I like them.
What was the other one?
I don't remember, but it was at least 16 letters. That's that news broadcasting in your blood.
Yeah, sometimes I get it beat into my brain every day.
I like it. Keep it up. Don't go past 20 words, though, or letters.
Farmer.
Look at that. I
gets
told you.
Inside.
I've seen enough football games in my not only playing career but broadcasting career to see body language, somebody who wants the football. This young man wants the football right now. He's one of those guys that just kind of smells the end zone.
He's certainly within sniffing distance of it now, as it is now 1st and goal for Cascade.
It's a big opportunity for Cascade to get right back into this thing before halftime. Good game, good game. Good homecoming crowd, great weather. We had a little drops of rain, but it went away. All good.
Just some typical fall Indiana weather.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, some typical fall Indiana running.
Once he
by
got
Liam Farmer.
Kurt, once he got by that first layer, he was going to the end zone. It would have took half of North Putnam School District to stop him because he put his head down and he had one mission, and that was to get that thing in the end zone, and he did a good job.
So that's, again, Farmer's second touchdown of the night.
There's a Cascade cheerleading group doing a great job.
And so Farmer, without a doubt, has surpassed the 1,000-yard rushing mark at this point on the season. He was the big workhorse on that one for that previous drive, and now Cascade going for two out of necessity here. And Farmer has the ball, loses it, and it's going to be picked up here by North Putt, but that ends the play right there on the extra point. And so it's 14-12. Cascade still down by 2. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
There's the North Putnam faithful kind of stunned into silence right now after that big drive from Cascade. Still, North Putnam leads 14-12 here. A beautiful overcast sky here, as you can see here in Clayton, Indiana, alongside Jan Bozier. I'm Kurt Darling. That's a pretty good sight there, isn't it, Jan?
It is. Gorge, we talked about what nice facilities here at Cascade. Full packed house. Going back and forth. Both teams just trying to improve. Both teams with a win or two, and understanding football is a marathon, not a sprint. You just got to get better each and every game. But you hear that in high school football. Listen, we hear that at the Colts. They just want to get better. As professionals every week. That's what you do in football.
So here's Chase Schnarr kicking it away. It's going to be another pooch punt. This time it's immediately caught. And bringing back that one is going to be Staggs, keeping his feet underneath him out past the 40.
Now, I think more than ever now with North Putt, with 3:13 left in this first half, they'd love to put a drive together and just keep the ball at a minimum. But if they can run this clock and score, boy, they could really make it tough for Cascade.
So North Putt still has plenty of time to work with here. As the Cougars, again, looking for their second win of the season here tonight. Again, they lost their first 4, but then obliterated Cloverdale just a week ago, 58-7.
Let's see how North Putt plays this. Plenty of time on the board. Key here is keep yourself out of first or second and long. Keep it within 5 yards.
Claycomb with a full head of steam, but running a little more east-west than north-south, only gains a couple yards.
Well, I think they give him closer to 3 or 4. Let's see where they spot this thing. That's a good.
So, yeah, that is a good.
Yeah, you'll take 4 yards off of first down any day of the week.
And so far, Claycomb, like his counterpart for Cascade, Liam Farmer, having a good night running the ball as the throw goes high, looking for Miles Bryan again. Bryan had that big touchdown catch to close out the previous drive for North Putt.
Interesting call there. Don't have a problem with it. It was really a pass where only his guy could get it, but now you've got yourself in a 3rd and long. Now you're past predictable. And you just handed him 5 if you're Cascade.
So that's going to be an encroachment there on Cascade.
It's a mistake. But especially nose guard, you're over the top of the football. You got to see that football.
So 5 free yards makes it 3rd down and manageable for North Putt.
Yeah, now instead of 3rd and 7, it's 3rd and 2. That's a huge difference in the playbook.
And that moves them into plus territory. Another high snap. This time it's a direct snap. to Kramer,
Yep.
and he has the keeper and a first down.
Yep, good job. Know where the stick is. Get the first down. You don't have to do anything dynamic. You don't need to take a massive hit. Get the first down. Get out of bounds.
So he keeps the drive alive and stops the clock here. And another keeper here for Kramer.
Wow. What really didn't look like a whole lot initially. What's that going to be, Kurt? 6, 7 yards?
Give or take. And now we have a timeout called here by Cascade.
Yeah, they mark it at 5. Well, that's a good timeout because Cascade is going to regroup here. Last thing they can afford to do is let North Putt take this all the way down and score. That's a good timeout. Coaches are going to talk to them, get them pumped up a little bit, make sure they're communicated. And especially when you have young ball clubs, you got to just coach them, coach them, coach them.
Again, this is a Cascade squad at the beginning of Connor Simmons' tenure, had 53 players. Well, they have 39 this year. Now, the reason for basically the shortfall in players over that span, according to him, is because he demands a very stringent off-season regimen that he expects his players to stick to, and had a couple players, just decide that wasn't quite for them. And so just kind of all part of building that new culture that he wants to build here at Cascade.
Here's the reason for that. If he doesn't do it, the other team is. So, it's not, it's like you make a statement like, well, they're big and strong. Well, everybody's big and strong. And if you're not probably going to win. So that's part of now the new era of football.
And so the high snap goes nowhere as Kramer had to fall on that one.
You hear a lot of teams go, well, our kids have been in the weight room. Well, everybody better be in the weight room. It's just not even an option now. It's a lot of commitment. There is no doubt.
So Scott Moore trying to recover from that one. The lower snap this time goes to Clayton.
Much better job by Cascade. See, what they did that time was stretched it on the edge a little bit. And when you stretch a play on the edge, what that does is allow your linebackers and safety to come up and help you. So much better defense that time by Cascade of stretching and protecting the edge.
Again, last year when these two teams played, the final score was 9-6. Well, we've already surpassed that here in the first half. North Putt having to go for it here on 4th down. And now we have a flag.
Yeah, all kinds of movement. You can't get set and then move again, and I think that's what North Putnam did. That would be an illegal shift.
So, yeah, that will be an illegal. It's going to be
All
called
sides.
technically a false start.
Right, either or.
But either way, that's going to be Clayton clearly set and then step forward.
They had people moving all over the place.
Yep.
Yep, there, you can't do that. Once you get set, you're set. He can move. You can do it once.
And so now this is kind of an interesting situation here if you're North Putt. You're right on the fringe of either punting the ball away or going for it. And it looks like they're going to go for it. And now we have a stoppage again. The official gave the signal to start the clock, but then the other officials telling the white hat that somebody wasn't quite set. Just kind of a lack of communication here or something like that. Either way, they got to reset everything. Of course, the officials can communicate with each other. They have those headsets as you see them talking. They're going to call for the clock to be reset. The clock shows 1:32 right now. It's going to be 1:36, so they're going to add 4 seconds back onto the clock here. So now that everything's set, finally we can do 4th down and long here for North Putt. Kramer with time, over the middle, looking for his receiver, tight coverage, and it's incomplete. Looking for, well, Noah Clayton going out there on the big route.
Yeah, and I thought it was pretty well defended by Cascade. And I like the call by North Putt because, listen, why not take a shot at the end zone?
Just a little bit too long,
Yeah.
but even then, that would have been really tight coverage with Liam Farmer on the coverage.
Yeah, I thought Cascade did a really pretty good job overall because North Putt really sent about 5 receivers out. That's a whole bunch of people to cover. And I thought Cascade did a pretty good job in their secondary of really not allowing much room at all.
One thing to note here, Jan, is the fact that Cascade actually had good clock management on defense that time.
That's a great point, Kurt. Minute 30, I'm going, man.
And so now Cascade has some room to work with here as Appleby will take the pitch across midfield.
Minute 30 is plenty of time. You're exactly right. Boy, if they could somehow find the end zone, what a turnabout play here. Could be.
And good blocking certainly there by Toby Savini. And so they place the ball right at midfield, and Appleby getting out of bounds, standing up to stop the clock. So Brady Trebley taking his time here, getting the play from the sideline.
Get what you can, get out of bounds, save your timeouts. Cascade only has 1 left.
As does North Putnam. Farmer on the give. He has to fight for a couple yards there, and we'll see if Cascade decides to call a timeout here.
You got to hurry if you're Cascade, or you're going to have to call timeout.
Again, they run a no-huddle wing tee offense, so they know how to work up-tempo if they have to. But right now, Cascade letting a lot of time fall off here at the moment.
Wow, they're letting a ton of time go off here.
Trebley on the delayed handoff to Savini, has a hole, gets into the second level, and a first down out across the 35-yard line. And if you're Cascade, I would imagine you're calling a timeout now.
Well, you stop the clock to move the chains and be ready to go so you don't have to call a timeout.
And they don't call that timeout.
Nor would you. Now you got to go, though. The clock stops to move the chains. Now you may have to call
Appleby
it. Now you call it.
is dropped in the backfield, and so now you call that that much-needed timeout here for Cascade. 36 seconds and some change left to go here. And there you see Connor Simmons.
Yeah, the Cascade coaching staff not real happy with that one because they didn't want to burn that timeout right there, but they had absolutely no choice but to do it. So this is interesting. We'll look back at this 36.5 for Cascade and say, were you able to find anything here at all going into halftime to be able to scratch and claw and have a shot of taking the lead? That would be a huge momentum builder for Cascade.
Certainly not for a lack of trying here for Cascade. They did their job on defense when North Putt was looking to try and close this half out with the lead, but now Cascade has a chance to take the lead of their own in spite of the fact that they haven't been able to get an extra point, whether it be 2 or 1 point so far, which has them down at the 2-point deficit. So it'll be second down and long here for the Cadets. Trebley back to pass. Has a man wide open into the end zone. A big pitch and catch.
How about that for the Cadets?
Devin Weigel, touchdown, Cascade.
That's huge. Man, he was wide open too. Somebody somewhere on the Cascade coaching staff seen something. He did a little fake, and the North Putnam defender bought on it, and then he just took off. That's huge. Now Cascade's going to take the lead for the first time, Kurt, and go into halftime.
Who said clock management doesn't pay off?
There you go.
It certainly does right here. Cascade, a brilliant stop on defense, calling timeouts when they had to, giving themselves plenty of time. And now Cascade going to try and go for 2 for the 3rd time tonight. They have been unsuccessful twice so far. And it's just a quick, nice little fake there on a 1-and-1 play, basically, as Farmer gets a passing 2-point conversion.
Well, what Cascade does here is stretches the field. They overload the left, have quarterback and center, and then they overload the right. That's a whole lot of space to try to cover everybody. And if you don't practice against that, they call a lot of teams. You know what they call that? A lot of teams call that. They call it seriously. They call it chaos. because that's what they try to do.
It certainly looked like organized chaos.
It is, and that's what a lot of teams name that play. I don't know if Cascade does, but they call it chaos because that's what you try to get your defense in.
So Chase Durbin on the reception there for the two-point conversion. And just like that, Cascade, after going down 7-0 early and keeping pace with North Putnam, they flipped this one on its head so far.
Yes, sir. Boy, they come scratching back and somehow have put it together here, and short of something huge out of North Putnam here at 29.8 seconds.
That was also Brady Trebley's 4th passing touchdown this season and Weigel's 2nd receiving.
Well, sometimes when you have a young team, you got to get super creative. You just do. If you don't have the horses to do exactly what you want to do, and I give Cascade coaching staff a lot of credit. They've just really tried to open the playbook and throw anything and everything at North Putt they can possibly can. Listen, there's two things that fans remember: homecoming and sectional play. They'll remember the record, but you don't want to lose homecoming, and you'd love to win a sectional.
Well, especially if it's an entertaining game like what we have playing out right now. Here's a long kick this time.
Got all that one.
And it's taken by Weigel, or rather, excuse me, taking it back. That's going to be Murphy bringing it back. And he gets that across the 20. So now, but still 22 seconds left to work with here for North Putnam. They know how to pass the ball, but
they do, but here's what you got to be careful of. When you're down a little bit, you have a tendency sometimes to press. What you don't want to do is take a 6-point deficit and turn it into a 12 or 13. You know, you're still right in this game. You can do whatever you want to do, but this is not a time, if you're North Putt, to make a crucial mistake.
And so we'll see what North Putt decides to do here. Again, down for the first time in this contest. Christian Kramer taking his time. Kramer with a quick pass out and over the receiver's hands. That was Miles Bryant again.
I'm telling you, Cascade had a decent shot at that.
That could have been a pick six.
Yes, sir. J.J. Roshan, right there in your picture, had a shot at that. That's where you got to be careful.
So North Putt going to try it again here, this time with 3 wide receivers to the near side. Again looking to pass. And on a comeback route here to Bryan. Sheds a tackler, gets out to the 40. Has a few blockers before he's tackled at the 45.
North Putnam doesn't need to burn a timeout here because they moved the chains, but they need to be ready to go immediately so if they can get 2 plays or not.
The chain gang will move quickly, as will North Putt.
They may down this.
And they spike the ball to stop the clock.
Yep. They want to save their timeout, so they literally an incomplete pass is what they get, and so they stops the clock. So now what that allows them is 1, maybe 2, depending how long this play takes.
Either way, if you're North Putt, get out of bounds is the name of the game right now.
Well, you got to get something big here and use your timeout. They need some serious yardage. So they save their timeout, so if they can get a big play, they can call timeout. But 8 seconds, 8.2, not a lot of time.
And now we have a flag on the play. It might be a false start here against North Putt.
No, somebody moved on North Putt front line. That's a costly mistake right there with 8.2.
Some untimely penalties here by both teams committed so far, but they have not been an overtly big one. Oh, we have another flag, a subsequent flag thrown here on the near sideline.
Not sure what this is about.
And it's going to be another sideline warning, but this time it's against Cascade. Yep. We had one earlier against North Putt.
Well, you get one. The second one is going to cost you, so suggest you move back.
So after all of that, it's going to be 2nd down and a long 15 here for North Putt with 8 seconds left in the half. Kramer coming back this time to Staggs. And again, some blockers.
Needs to get
Time
down,
running
needs to get down.
And there's 0.1 seconds left, and now they run the timeout, and that'll be the end of the half. So, some back-and-forth scoring here in this one. North Putt was up 7-0 early, then 14-12, but then Cascade comes back with some big ones here. They are up 20-14 at halftime here on the ISC Sports Network.
Wabash always fights. Our motto brings the spirit of competition to everything we do. In top-notch athletics, we have a championship pedigree that is unrivaled. Off the field, we boast outstanding theater, music, and choral programs, intense intramurals, gaming, and more. The Wabash experience doesn't end at the classroom. Whether you play to win or just for fun, this is the place to be. Come to Wabash. Play more.
Fall means football, and on the ISC, we've got you covered all season long. Catch our broadcast live on television on MyNDTV 23 and Comcast 81, as well as streaming on ISCSportsNetwork.com. With a subscription to ISC for only $4.99 a month, you get access to our entire library, viewable anytime, anywhere, on our website or on the ISC app. Don't miss a single broadcast. ISC Sports Network. Football lives here.
Well, we still have players on the field here right now. They were discussing on whether or not there would be one more play of the half.
And there is not.
But there will not be. So we are officially now in halftime here on the ISC Sports Network. Alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Kurt Darling here. Well, Jan, as I described going into the break there, kind of a back-and-forth half. North Putnam was in control for most of it, but Cascade really came on strong in the last 90 seconds.
Yeah, they really did. Cascade scores 20 points in that second period. You not only get back, but have the lead going into halftime. So really a huge second period for the Cascade Cadets.
And so with this one, in mind, you see as we get the homecoming court getting ready to go here, as it's homecoming here at Cascade, the whole point of the culture building discussion that we've been having all night long when it comes to Cascade. And, you see a lot of that maturity, which Coach Simmons, I talked to earlier today, has been talking about how, it's a young team, but they've really been building maturity. Well, you need to have a lot of maturity to be able to keep poised and have that kind of comeback in the first half.
As a coach, you haven't won the game, but you got to feel good. But the fact your team was down, but they never gave up, especially in that first half. In fact, I thought they were motivated a little bit by getting down. It's interesting when teams show that when they get down. You can tell a lot about a team when they get down. How are they going to react? And I thought, to your point, Cascade really kind of got in a groove, got things going after getting down early.
Credit to North Putnam, though. They really came out swinging, not through the air, though, on the ground.
That was a little surprising. You and I talked about what they want to do and have done is throw the ball. That's their M.O., but they have to feel good about that. It's hard to just live on one aspect of an offense because you get predictable. So the fact they were able to put some running game together, I think they have to feel pretty good about that.
And still they got one rushing touchdown, but also one passing touchdown as well. It was a nifty play to Miles Bryan, who had his now 6th touchdown of the season on that one. But needless to say, it's very talented. But, you see a lot of the same freshman mistakes that we've seen. Not, of course, both. Remember, we have 2 freshman quarterbacks here tonight.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, here's what their coaches will tell both those quarterbacks. You're not freshmen anymore. You've played now 5 football games. You now are freshman plus because you've got some experience, and while technically you still are a freshman, experience should get you better, and I think it has. I thought really for the first half, the freshmen both played pretty well.
Homecoming festivities going on now here at Cascade, and you've been talking about it all night long here, Jan. There's nothing like homecoming in high school football.
Do you know, are we going to announce the king and queen at halftime, or some schools announce it beforehand?
I'm pretty sure they're going to do that.
That's the best ever.
That's usually the MO now, where you actually announce the court, then you have the announcement of the king and queen at halftime. That's usually how it's been. At least that's how it was when I was in high school.
And here's what I like. Look at your picture right here. The coaching staff has allowed the players to be a part of the halftime festivities, and you see that sometimes. But I just think that is so cool. It's such a big part of going to school and to being involved in this, and the fact that football players have been allowed as intense and as serious as this culture wants to get. That's still a big part of what high school's about.
Well, notice most of the nominees from each of the classes here are football players.
Yeah.
You have more football players than ties around this next right there.
The football players are going, listen, we get to march pretty girls out. Come on, you can work with us on this, right?
Definitely. Well, we'll go ahead and take another quick timeout. When we come back, though, we will allow you to watch all of the halftime festivities and the homecoming going on right now here at Cascade. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
After high school, Kendall plans to attend Indiana University and earn a degree in forensic accounting and a minor in Spanish. Liam Farmer is the son of Carrie and Brandon Farmer. After high school, he doesn't quite know what he wants to do yet.
Laura Cameron, daughter of Darcy and Jim Cameron. She is escorted by King nominee Devin Weigel. After high school, Laura plans to attend Hanover College to attain a law degree in pursuit of becoming a judge. Devin is the son of April and Scott Weigel. After high school, he plans to become the cameraman for the Channel 4 news team for Carter Settles and Ron Burgundy.
Ava Cook, daughter of John and Melinda Cook. She is escorted by King nominee Owen Myers. After high school, Ava plans to go into pediatric oncology nursing. Owen Myers is the son of Kim and Marcus Myers. After high school, he plans to study business at Hanover College.
Madeline Coy, daughter of Jennifer and Ryan Rash. She is escorted by the Cascade legend and King nominee Carter Settles. After high school, Madeline plans to study international business and pre-law. She would also like to add Vote Coy for President 2040. Carter is the son of Jean and Denise Settles. After high school, he plans to join the Channel 4 news team and become a co-anchorman with Ron Burgundy.
And now our winners. This year's freshman homecoming princess is Taylor Rose.
Our sophomore princess is Sophia Johnson.
Our junior princess is Grace Trump.
And our 2022 Fall Homecoming King is Carter Settles.
Our 2022 Fall Homecoming Queen is Maddie Coy.
And that wraps up our 2022 Fall Homecoming halftime event. Thank you.
Irrigation Company is Central Indiana's premier irrigation specialist. Our athletic division provides high-quality irrigation construction to some of the finest athletic complexes across the Midwest. Allen Irrigation Company is also your lawn sprinkler specialist for all residential, commercial, and industrial locations, as well as landscape lighting, holiday lighting, and snow removal. We're committed to excellence and outstanding service for your peace of mind. Visit us online at allenirrigationcompany.com. That's allenirrigationcompany.com.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable. Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby. Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Few sprinkles falling here at Cascade High School as we are in the middle of halftime here on the ISC Sports Network. The Cadets on top of the Cougars of North Putnam 20-14. Alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Kurt Darling. So, Jan, how about some trivia time?
I'm ready.
All right.
I think I'm 0 for 3. Let's see if I can break it.
Well, so you know how teams nowadays, you know, they college football teams,
yes,
they will pay FCS teams to come
yes,
on site
yes,
and, you know, to get waxed by them, or in Notre Dame's case, get beat by them.
Big paydays, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So, well, believe it or not, that kind of goes back to a thing in 1907.
I'm ready.
So, during the 1907 campaign,
yes,
and this, of course, brought to you by Wabash College officials decided to offer powerful Michigan
yes,
a guarantee of $5,000
wow,
to play an October 19th game at a football field in Indianapolis.
yes.
Where was that football field located?
Okay.
Was it at A, Washington Park?
Yes.
B, the original Hoosier Dome?
Yes.
C, Tech High School? Or D, Garfield Park?
Well, here's the problem with this question. I heard the answer, so I know it's at Washington Park, but I would have never guessed that. But because I need a victory tonight, I'm going to go with the fact I heard it and stay with it, Washington Park.
Well, that is correct.
Thank you. It's only because I heard our producer, Alan, tell you the answer. Short of that, I had no shot, and I would be 0-4.
So anyway, yeah, the answer is, in fact, Washington Park. Michigan, who won 4 straight national championships between 1901 and 1904, beat Wabash College 22-0 in that game.
I like it.
So,
you know, it feels good to have a victory after 4 weeks. So I'm sticking with it.
You take them however you can get them.
Yes, sir. You take them however you get them.
Definitely. So it's a good trivia question here on the ISC Sports Network, of course, talking about this game here right now. Of course, Cascade playing in the Indiana Crossroads Conference. 2 other teams, though, that are playing in the Indiana Crossroads Conference are, in fact, Cecina and Lutheran. Well, a halftime score to make you aware of here. Cecina's on top of top-ranked Lutheran 13-7 at half.
On top right now, but that thing's not over. Little surprise, maybe. Cecina's really good, so is Lutheran. I bet that's a game and a half.
So, and of course, that's a battle for the top spot in the Indiana Crossroads Conference, as Lutheran 5-0 in conference play, also, or rather 4-0 in conference play. Cecina 3-0 in conference play. Both teams are undefeated in that game, so kind of working to break the stalemate atop of that one here. Meanwhile, for North Putnam, they're kind of out of the conference talk right now when it comes to the WIC, as we take a look at some highlights here, though, as well here for this game, though, as it got things going here early, though, with North Putnam. But, of course, it was a big kickoff. But, obviously, there was this big play from Farmer to get things going.
Yeah, kind of an acrobatic handoff here. But this young man really started this game off with a vengeance.
And, of course, he would go on to get a lot more in that as well. Clayton getting in there for the touchdown, his first of 2. Or rather, his first on the night. Of course, they would also be Brian getting the other one later on here. But, of course, you get this big one right here all the way downfield.
Yeah,
are at Kramer.
And I thought North Putt really came out and established the running game and then brought the passing game into it. And I think that's what they wanted to do, to try to be as balanced as they possibly can.
But
how about the big guy making a catch there?
Meanwhile, and of course, mind you, that was on 4th down to keep the drive alive, setting up that Farmer touchdown.
Yeah, and both freshman quarterbacks, I thought overall played very well. Made a few mistakes, but threw the ball well, guided their team. You know, it takes a while for a quarterback to get the confidence of his team, and I thought you could really see the teams kind of really rallying around both their quarterbacks.
So with that, we'll take another quick timeout. When we come back, we will have a few other things to talk about, getting set for half number 2 in this one. 20-14 is your score here on the ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Hi there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we do Query and Schultz on ISC Sports Network. And Derek, unlike Ted Lasso, we have a 3rd season.
That's right. Season number 3 right now, ISCSportsNetwork.com.
Are they doing a third
You can
season
see
on that show?
episodes on Comcast 81 as well, Mondays at 7:30. I'm talking about our show, Jake, this beloved show that people tune into every single week. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, so many ways to watch Query and Schultz every Monday, 7:30. Tune in and hang out with us.
And you don't have to be a goldfish. You'll remember everything we say.
Jan Bozier, Kurt Darling here with you, getting set for the second half of this contest here on the ISC Sports Network. Class 2A matchup, of course, interconference play as well. The WIC Conference taking on the Indiana Crossroads Conference. Cascade on top of North Putnam. And, of course, we were just talking with the guys here in the press box here, Jan, in reference to Lutheran being down to Cecina here at this one. Of course, mind you, Cascade played Lutheran last week, lost 50 to 12. Well, keep in mind, Cascade was only down 16 to 12 at half before Lutheran decided to show up in that one.
And I've talked throughout this broadcast that there are small victories. For Cascade, that was a small victory. Lutheran is experienced. They're very, very good. So while they did not obviously win, Lutheran is very, very good. They have a big shot at going back to Lucas Oil again this year, and would not be surprising them or Cecina, quite honestly.
Of course, you have Dave Pash and Ott Hurley, 2 big coaches duking it out right now there in downtown Indianapolis. Now, talking about this game, though, here, Jan, both teams have shown their moxie, but also have shown some struggles. What are you looking for in the second half?
Well, consistency. I think you got to go back to being balanced if you're going to win this game, and I think both teams will try to do that. Got to stay mistake-free. Some mistakes really hurt the teams. Not a lot, but when they had them, they were costly. But really the big announcement here at halftime is the King and Queen.
Of course.
You want to do us the honors of naming the Cascade 2022 King and Queen, Kurt Darling.
Of course, a big congratulations to Carter Settles, named the Cascade Homecoming King, and Madeline Coy, the Homecoming Queen. Of course, Madeline Coy, one of the cheerleaders here tonight, and Carter Settles, not among the many of the football players. He actually dressed for the occasion, and he looked the part.
Yeah, but here's what's going to be cool. 40 years from now, they're going to go back and listen to this and say, listen, we had the opportunity of Kurt Darling to mention our name on TV. It would be the absolute coolest moment of your career, Kurt. I just
there you go. Well, I feel incredibly honored right now. I feel the gravity of the moment here right now. Of course, a lot of gravity being felt here as some raindrops not defying gravity here tonight, but it's not raining too much to affect anything, as we still have no umbrellas to be seen
this
here.
This crowd doesn't care. What's a few raindrops?
Course.
Man, look at all these people. This place is packed.
Around 57 degrees and falling right now here in Cascade here as we are in Clayton, Indiana.
And I got to tell you, as being a parent and having both my kids obviously married now, but going through high school and getting this, they didn't play football, but one played sports and the other was a singer. To see them on events on a high school night as a parent, there is nothing more precious than to see your kid or either one of your kids do anything of this nature. So I know the parents out here are absolutely having a blast.
Certainly some entertaining football along with that as well. So Cascade, after putting together a very big drive to close out the first half, will get the ball to start the second half to try and capitalize on that and one-up them again as well.
Well, I'm not sure what we're doing.
Well, the officials are taking their time getting things all set and ready to go here, as we've got to wait for
Oh, we got to wait for the white hat to get in the back. There
the
we
white
go.
hat to get in his position.
Okay. And so they're going to stop play. And now the white hat is leaving the building.
And so
not sure what's going on.
The white hat actually, yeah, he's running off of the field off the far side right now. He's
pointing at
He's
something.
pointing at something. Oh, and there's actually, they're talking about someone has headlights on in the parking lot, and it is shining right across the field into the vision of the players. So they are going to try and get to figure out who has the headlights on. You can see it right down there just past the bathroom there on the exterior of the fence. So
I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
I have never seen that either. So the officials are going to.
Well, if those lights are on, it could hit kid right in the eyes, and obviously you don't need that. Oh, there it is. Look at our crew. Look at that. Right there's the car. You can't do that, sir. Come on.
First-class crew.
How about that?
Giving us a nice shot here as well. They're delivering the message.
He's trying to sneak to the good seats.
And there we go. Got the lights turned off.
That's awesome. Good camera work, man. Now this guy's going to see himself on TV and go, oh, you had to show me?
Thanks a bunch to Alan Hughes as well as Wes Wolf, David Cohen, Ian Wheeler, Vincent Morales, and also Greg Charton as well.
Now what are we doing? Does he want to argue that he's going to keep his lights on?
And now the lights are back on.
Yeah, he's telling him, you can't tell me what to do. Oh, I think they can.
So the White Hats still holding up play right now as they've got the lights turned back on here. And now they got them turned off again.
Maybe, let me take a guess. Now, Mr. Policeman said, yes, you will. And I don't think he was fighting it. I think he had him on automatic.
Unless he had to back the car up a little bit or something like that. Either way. All right, so the extra lights are officially off now, and we are underway here in the second half. Too many Friday night lights here. We can only have 4 of them as we have on the field. So now there's a good return coming back for Cascade. Marcus Hobson on the return will give the Cadets good field position to start this second half.
Yeah, and what you want to do here, especially with the lead, is come out. The best scenario for the Cascade Cadets is to put a drive together and score. That would be an A-plus scenario for them. But really get some momentum. You have the lead. Use clock. Let's see how they come out. You know, with that lead, you would think they got a little momentum on their side.
So the ball spotted at the 38-yard line. Brady Trebley had a solid first half, handing the ball off as well as getting a few big passes. And they continue on the ground, does Cascade. And Savini looked like he was stood up, but keeps the feet moving underneath him and powers forward a gain of 6.
Good for a gain of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4.
They've used that delayed track play a couple times. A few times it's went for relatively good yardage. That time, North Putt does a pretty good job of staying put, but still not after some decent yardage.
Toby Savini, again, one of several freshmen starting on this Cascade squad. A young team, to say the least. 16 freshmen to 4 seniors. That is it. And then a plethora of juniors and sophomores as well in between. Handoff again to Savini, and it looks like he has enough for the first down.
Got a couple interesting scores for you in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. HSC with one of their better teams in years, 24, Zionsville 3. Zionsville, pretty good ball club. And a big one over on the west side, Brownsburg 14, Westfield 7. Brownsburg's homecoming.
Big 6A matchup right there. Brownsburg, the top-ranked team
Yes,
in
sir,
Class
they are.
6A now. Coach John Hart has an excellent squad going up there as well. Of course, Westfield went to the 6A state finals a year ago, lost to a tough Center Grove team.
Westfield, really good ball club. Maybe not they had some serious graduation, that still very, very good ball club. I think their only losses to New Pal, I believe, maybe one other, I don't recall.
And so he's just shy of the first down was Savini, so it's going to be 3rd down and a short 1 yard. Handoff is to Farmer. He gets that short 1 yard and many more after it. Look at that. Keeping his legs moving down to the 35.
Hopefully we can see this one again. This is what you want when you show your other kids. Here's who I want you to run like. Arms wrapped around the ball, refuses. It just keeps motoring the legs, head up, shoulders square. That's what you show all the young guys. Here's how you should run in a football game.
Of course, all replays brought to you tonight by Wabash College. So the ball at the 38-yard line. And a big first down run there by Liam Farmer.
Yeah, just move. We talked about in the opening, keys to the game, move the chains.
Delayed handoff again, this time to Appleby. He always gets kind of that sweeping handoff. And he gains a few yards, about a solid 5 yards actually, inside the 35.
Now the key right now for Cascade is keep this drive alive. Don't make mistakes. North Putnam, the longer you go in a drive, defensively you have to become a little more risky. You have to maybe think about blitzing, doing some stunts maybe, but you just can't let that momentum from Cascade continue. So let's see who makes the best adjustments here.
Quick handoff to Farmer again. Has a full head of steam, gets the first down.
I think he's got it. Going to be really close. See where they spot it. Yep, he got it.
And they eyeball the first down. So Liam Farmer, again, just having a business-as-usual night.
Farmer looks like one of those guys, he never comes off the field. You know, he's one of their leading tacklers on defense. He's just one of those kids who just seems like he gets stronger as the night goes on.
Speaking of strong, Coach Simmons reports that Liam Farmer is a 500-pound squatter.
I can believe
and a 300-pound bench presser.
That's a great point because that's that strength we talked about. It's just not an option anymore.
And here's more of that strength as you see Appleby getting a block from Farmer on the fake handoff. And another solid gain. Cascade just moving the ball like clockwork right now.
Strong young man. You can just tell by the way he drives his legs, the strength that he has. You don't have to be a 6'5", 300-pound guy to be an impact player on a football team. So in fact, some of the best runners, quite honestly, are the. I played defensive tackle in college, and one of the more difficult runners to bring down was that 5'11", stronger than all good out, good quickness. They were impossible to bring down sometimes.
Appleby on the handoff back the other way. That was a counter play. Gets a few yards on that, getting close to the 20.
One of the things you look at as far as the stat is concerned is time of possession. And that's what Cascade really likes here. Certainly you want to get in the end zone, but you want your offense. You remember we talked in the opening keys of the game. An offense on the field is as good as a strong defense because their offense is not on the field, your opponent. So a good offense is as good as a good defense at times.
This drive has already ticked away 4.5 minutes of this third quarter. This is the opening drive of the third quarter, mind you. Quick handoff again to Farmer. And he just keeps chugging along and carrying 5 or 6 players with him.
I could just watch him all night long.
He gets down to the 15-yard line.
I love that. Just me, you. Who's going to win battles? Take a look here. See how he just keeps his center of gravity, keeps his feet just, never. Once you stop your feet, you're going to go down. And he never stops those feet moving.
And the cacophony of players that were hanging on him probably equals about 500 pounds squatting.
Yeah, that's true.
We're inside of 7 minutes already. Cascade slowly but surely dinking and dunking down the field. And there's a nice disguised handoff. We have a new ball carrier. That is a touchdown for Cascade. And that is Logan Gibbs coming on the sweep.
Well, they used Farmer as a decoy that time. Farmer. Then here comes around. Nice kick out block there on the side by number 55. We got to get his name because that was a great.
That was Walker Van Ness.
Yeah, just a great kick out block by Van Ness. Someone makes a good block, we got to make sure we get their name because that's just as important as the guy running the ball in.
So that is now 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in a row now for Cascade. And now we'll see what kind of trickery they do this time for the 2-point conversion. Farmer again looking to pass the ball. Getting swallowed up, fires, and it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Love the effort.
2-point conversion is incomplete.
He was going to pass that thing one way or the other.
26-14, back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
26-14 is your score here on the ISC Sports Network. Cascade on top of North Putnam. Endeavor Communications offers a variety of internet speeds that fits your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Contact us at weendeavor.com for more information. Kurt Darling, Jan Bozier here with you on the ISC Sports Network as, believe it or not, Jan, this is going to be the second drive of this quarter after Cascade took off a whopping amount of time and also scored a touchdown.
Well, when you have the lead, this is exactly what you want to do. It is time of possession, move the chains, and then score. You couldn't have scripted it any better if you wanted to. Now North Putnam has got to find some extra energy here and get themselves back in this game because Mr. Moe has clearly found a home on Cascade side.
So here's Schnarr to kick it away. He'll pooch it right into the hands of Clayton. And Clayton will be pushed out of bounds right at the 35-yard line.
On the return, stop on the play by
so we saw a lot of Farmer, but also a lot of many other players there on the offensive side for Cascade. But so far, it's been all Noah Clayton with also the arm of Christian Kramer for North Putt.
Curry, kind of interesting. I mean, when North Putnam took off earlier in this game, boy, you just looked like they may run away with this thing. And all of a sudden, Cascade held in there, found some life, kind of now, took the lead at the last second. Now they've got control of this game. So we'll see what North Putt, how they handle it. Can they make a little run here?
So again, Christian Kramer has had an excellent night passing the ball already, has a touchdown to his credit. And he will keep passing the ball here, looking long, has a man open, and has his receiver. Oh, but he drops it.
Well, I think it might have been knocked out of his hand by Hobson. Marcus Hobson, step for step. It looked like he had it, but let's see at the last second if Hobson doesn't knock this thing out of his hands.
Miles Bryan, the intended receiver. Yep. Yes, that was Hobson all the way.
Yep, good play there. Recovered, got the hand up there, disrupted him bringing it down, or that would have been a huge game by North Putt.
The Cougars certainly showing they're not afraid to throw the ball, especially with their freshman quarterback. He has 1,000 yards passing this season.
Well, Cascade has clearly slowed down this running game.
On the delayed handoff, it's going to be a jet sweep to Miles Bryan, and he is pummeled in the backfield.
Logan Gibbs, again, number 28, making a big-time play. Gibbs, you've mentioned his name multiple times now. Not only running the ball, but certainly on defense as well.
6'2", 185-pound junior is Gibbs. That is his first tackle for loss this season. And so that backs up North Putnam to a 3rd down and 15 situation.
And this is exactly where Cascade wants to put North Putnam, in forcing pass situations.
Oh, and Clayton just drops the pass, coming back to his quarterback. And we may see our first punting situation of the night here, Jan.
Just took his eyes off of it a second. Ball right there, man. You just got to grab that. You can't run before you catch it. And he's been catching. He's had a pretty good game, just a mistake.
So there's the pooch punt there from Kramer. And it'll take a North Putt bounce.
Pretty good
down
punt,
inside
really.
of the 25.
Good roll.
Kramer's long is 40 yards this season. That might have just surpassed that one right there.
No return.
Now Cascade really has an opportunity here to put this thing away, or at least make a huge dent in it, because they have the lead, they have the momentum. They can really eat a lot of clock up here. So this is one of the things you try to teach your young men, is to when you have an opportunity to put a game away, can you do it?
Cascade took well over 5 minutes off of the clock on their first drive of this quarter.
See, the playbook becomes wide open for Cascade right now, too, with the lead.
Handoff to Kramer. Has some running room up the middle. And just another routine run for him and a first down.
Yeah. Well, these, and I tell you, that's when you can have multiple runners that can run as well as Cascade does, you keep fresh legs. That's tough. Because as a defensive player, you're starting to get a little tired, especially North Putnam's defense been on the field quite a bit. So you're getting a little tired, and you got fresh legs coming at you.
Kramer approaching the 200-yard rushing mark here tonight.
And you need depth. You get in sectional tournament time, you need depth.
Here's the pitch to Appleby. He tries to turn the corner, not quite there, but still gets a hefty gain out of it.
On the near sideline, taken up by number 2, Wesley Murphy.
Murphy on the tackle.
Good for a gain of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4.
What Cascade has really did a nice job of doing is keeping second and third downs reachable downs versus the 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8. They've been in the 2nd and 5, and they've just getting really good production 1st and 2nd down, and that is absolute key in an offensive football team.
Quick handoff up the gut again.
I think he's got it.
And that's going to be just enough for a first down, it looks like, there for Farmer.
Mr. Clock continues to run here in the third quarter. It's flying by.
And no, they're going to spot him just shy.
Oh, wow, they did.
The far line judge gave him a pretty generous spot, but was corrected by the near line judge.
Right.
And so that's going to be a yard shy and a 3rd down and 1 here for Brady Tribley. Cascade has won the last 2 games against the Cougars, looking to get their 3rd in a row here. Farmer this time makes sure they get it out to the 45.
Farmer on the carry. That's good for a Cascade.
So Farmer getting 1 yard, like a walk in the park. That's a tough young man to stop for 1 yard.
So much so he got a couple yards on that run. But once again here, Jan, they are winding the clock big time here.
Yes, they are, and that's exactly what you want to do. Time of possession can be, not always, but can be a huge, huge stat for a ball club, especially if you don't have big-time plays.
On the delayed handoff to Savini, runs into the umpire there right over the back line of the defensive of the linebackers there. He gets up and he's okay, and a solid run there for Savini.
I'm taking a wild guess that it's not the first time he's taken a solid hit. Looks like a pretty stout referee.
Just kind of got caught up there where couldn't get out of the way in time.
I would have cracked in half. He jumped back up like a walk in the park. I've been the chiropractor tomorrow, maybe.
And so Cascade gets across midfield now.
He's smiling about it. Yeah, that'd be great to tell his family.
Trebley with a man in motion. Appleby on the double delay, but this time North Putnam's ready for it.
Cascades went to a lot of cross-buck action in the backfield, just really trying to force North Putnam to do a little more guessing. As far as their reads are concerned in the backfield, let's see what they do. This big down, North Putt really cannot afford for this clock just continue to eat away. Still tons of time, but they need to stop. Big down. If Cascade can get this first down, that's worth easily another minute.
Appleby again has some distance. Nearly breaks free out to the 30.
See, so now you get the first down. It's at 2:27. And so they're going to get 4 more downs, and that's at least worth at least some. Well, we got a flag, maybe not.
We got a late flag here. We'll see what the call is.
Way back. That's at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, and it's going to be a hold on Cascade.
Yeah, that's a spot.
And so that's going to be 10 yards from the previous spot.
Yep.
So instead of 3rd down and 3, it's going to be 3rd down and 13, considering North Putt accepts the penalty.
Cascade has been relatively penalty-free here in the second half.
So just take a look here, waiting for a hold. And
right there, they're going to call that right there.
Looks like that was on Gibbs.
Yep, at the top of your picture. He had a piece of the shoulder pads with his grip.
So now the officials are taking their time here to figure out where to spot the football.
Get it right. That's what you try to do as an official, holding Cascade from the spot, which was the line of scrimmage.
So they'll put it at the 42-yard line.
Holding against the Cadets. Be 3rd and 14.
Still, clock down to 2:27. This third quarter has flew by.
Again, Cascade just literally taking away almost half of the quarter alone on their first drive, and then forcing North Putt to go 3 and out.
Now, you got a little break there if you're North Putt, and let's see if you can capitalize on it. They 3rd and about 8 is a long haul for Cascade, so North Putt has got to find something here to get a stop. They're going to get back in this thing.
Oh, and they fumbled the snap. Trebley fumbled the snap, but it looks like he fell on top of it to keep it with the Cadets for the time being. But that was a wasted play and a wasted down now for the Cadets.
Yeah, now you got to be forced to the punt. So North Putt's going to get a little life here out of not 1 but 2 mistakes. First the penalty, then the fumble. So a couple costly mistakes by Cascade, and North Putt's short of something going wrong should have the ball.
So we're going to have Mackie Tharp appearing to punt the ball away here. Actually, no, it'll be Wyatt Noren. So Noren with a line drive end over end kick right into the fingertips there of Bryan.
A lot of times you see those line drives go back for big yardage. Pretty good special teams coverage by Cascade. I don't know that it's a do or die, but you got to think that North Putt's got to find the end zone.
At some point, yes.
Yeah, there's plenty of time, but, man, you don't want to go 3 and out here, that's for sure.
Well, and North Putnam has not scored since they were up 14-6 midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, Cascade has really shut their offense down, specifically the running part was something that I thought North Putt did a really good job in the first period. Cascade made some adjustments and really slowed down the running game.
So Cascade has scored 20 unanswered points here at this juncture. Cascade looking for their 208th win in program history here tonight. Back to pass is Kramer, and leaves that right at the feet of the other Kramer.
I did not realize how young this school was. I want to say I heard them say 1976 maybe?
1965 was the official
founding.
That's
close, but still, that's not that old of a
Of course, Cascade was consolidated between Clayton, Amo, and Stilesville.
Well, at least I'm old enough to know when it happened. So it ain't that old, right?
Small School Consolidation Act of the mid-60s.
Yeah.
Cascade was one of the many resulting high schools from it. We got a flag on the play here before the snap. Can more than likely assume this is a false start on North Putt, but we'll see what the flag is. And no, it's going to be against Cascade.
Well, that's now they've had 3 mistakes here in less than 5 minutes.
So that's going to be an encroachment on Cascade.
Now you just handed North Putt an open playbook here, 2nd and about 6. That's very doable. You can't mistake yourself out of a football game. They got to tighten it up. They being Cascade, and now let's see if North Putt can take advantage of the mistakes.
On the keeper there is Kramer, and he is immediately stood up. A big tackle by Liam Farmer.
Yep, there he is again. That young man has been a stud on both sides of the field.
You can just tell he loves to play football.
Yes, he does. Take a look here, just a little jet sweep action. What I like about, actually, I don't, yeah, that was Farmer. What I like about Farmer, he hits people.
Meanwhile, an interception appears. Oh, but he drops it. Cascade with some excellent coverage there on the pass as Kramer was looking for Brian. It looks like on the coverage. As we take a look at this replay brought to you by Wabash College. That's going to be Gavin Weekly.
Boy, he held on to that for a long time, but they didn't give it to him.
Still an excellent play there by Weekly to break up the pass. And so it's 4th down, and we might expect another punt here from North Putnam. They were in this lineup earlier, and so now here they go. So a pooch punt again, nobody back to cover it here for Cascade. And another good punt by Kramer. Puts it at the 15-yard line. So again, Cascade given some tough field position here with less than a minute to play in the 3rd.
Yeah, not much time left in this 3rd period. So, boy, if you're Cascade, if you can put together another one of those long time of possessions, it could make it really tough on North Putt.
Cascade football.
So Cascade forced to give the ball up on their previous drive after scoring on the first drive of this 3rd quarter. And the tired North Putnam defense certainly got at least a little bit of a break during that drive, but meanwhile, Appleby with another solid carry, a solid gain of 9 yards.
Well, they got a little bit of a break, but not a lot, because they have flat out been on this field for a lot of that 3rd period of play.
Considering many of these players also play both ways.
Right, that's exactly
for North Putt, as well as Cascade. Similar numbers between these two squads. Against Scott Moore in his first season as the head coach of North Putnam.
It's going to do it for the 3rd period, Kurt.
And so there you have it. Quarter number 3 comes to a close. Cascade getting one on the board, extending their lead, 26-14. 4th quarter coming at you next on the ISC Sports Network.
Leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable! Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. So that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Wabash men are leaders. In this environment, self-governance is a way of life. Students develop strong leadership skills in classes and labs, on the field and stage, and in clubs and organizations. These men are prepared to take on campus and the world beyond. 1 in 10 of our graduates hold high leadership positions. Presidents, owners, founders, you name it. When you want to lead, you go to a leading school. Come to Wabash. Lead more.
Quarter number 4 here in Clayton, Indiana, as Cascade on top of North Putnam 26-14. Alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Kurt Darling. Right back into the action here as Cascade continues this drive, and they get a first down there with a quick carry. And again, a heavy dose of Liam Farmer tonight. He was on the call on that previous one. Already over 1,000 yards rushing this season, breaking that milestone earlier tonight.
Still got it. Well, it's not a lot, at least for the Cascade fans, but you see sometimes in the camera shot there is a little bit of moisture coming down. It hasn't really affected the turf, really handles the moisture good, but still some rain coming down.
Trebley on the pitch. Coming around,
Good
hitting
tackle.
Savini.
Solid tackle by North Putt.
Ooh, and now we have a player down on the field. He is not moving. Well, now he
is moving.
There he is moving there.
That's
That
good.
was Arik Kramer. That was a little sketchy right there. He's up and he's okay.
Murphy makes the tackle here, number 2. A little low, but still good open field tackle. Not sure what happened to him, but he may have just got the wind knocked out of him. Good news is he's up and on his own power.
It was something either way. Looks like he's just fine.
I tell you, if you ever get hit and get the wind completely knocked out of you, that's brutal. Takes you a while to get your breath back or get your bearings, if indeed that was what happened.
So ball at the 30-yard line here. 2nd down and 9 for Cascade.
North Putt's got to start coming after the ball. They got to make a play.
Delayed handoff to Appleby.
They just cannot keep allowing Cascade to run. A lot of time off, taking their time back to the huddle, as you rightfully so, because there's not going to be enough time. Cascade has got to make some plays if they're going to get back in this thing.
North Putnam has neutralized the run so far here on this particular drive. Cascade looking for their first winning season since 2013 here this season. They could get back to 500 with a win here tonight. Back to pass. Trebley wide open to Savini, and he turns on the afterburners. One man to beat. He does. What a play. Touchdown, Cadets.
Well, Cascade goes run, 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 and North Putt knows they have to stop the run, and they just have everybody up. Good call by the offensive coordinator for Cascade, because he knew North Putt, A, been out there for a long time, and B, has just got everybody coming up to defend the run, and that makes it wide open.
67 yards.
That's a backbreaker.
Brady Trebley hitting Toby Savini. His first receiving touchdown of the season, his 2nd touchdown overall this season so far.
You know, when you're developing a program, I think that Cascade has had 3 wins the last 2 seasons, so they could get that 3rd win tonight, and they still have plenty of games. Each year you just want to improve. That could be huge if you could get 3 tonight and then have a chance to do 4 or 5 before sectional.
Going for the 2-point conversion again. That has not been the bread and butter tonight for Cascade, but they have more than made up for it in scoring touchdowns. 32-14. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Fall means football, and on the ISC, we've got you covered all season long. Catch our broadcast live on television on MyNDTV 23 and Comcast 81, as well as streaming on ISCSportsNetwork.com. With a subscription to ISC for only $4.99 a month, you get access to our entire library, viewable anytime, anywhere, on our website or on the ISC app. Don't miss a single broadcast. ISC Sports Network. Football lives here.
Well, we got some rain, also a little bit of fog starting to settle in here in Clayton, as Cascade making it a foggy night for North Putnam as they are up top 32-14. Alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Kurt Darling. And there you hear a little bit as well. Cascade ringing the victory bell out here on their side of the football field right now, as North Putnam, they got to do something here to try and make something of this, as the time is winding down here, Jan, for them to make it here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it's now or never. Get a shot. They're going to have to put something together in a real hurry.
So the officials once again taking their time getting things set up here. Mentioned before the break, Cascade hasn't had a winning season since 2013. Their best record actually came back in 2006 when they went 10-2, but lost to this North Putnam squad in the sectional championship. Just again underscoring the history between these two squads as the kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. That's the first touchback that we've had tonight.
Yeah.
So the ball comes back out to the 25-yard line. So Christian Kramer going to try and do something to lead this North Putnam offense downfield to get something on the scoreboard. They have been held scoreless for a whole quarter and a half now.
Well, I think that, North Putt, what you try to coach them here in the 9:54 is still at a minimum, you've got to get better, is find a way to get in this end zone.
Kramer hands the ball off to Clayton. He has been quiet here in this second half. And he tries to stay upright, gets out to the 30.
Clayton on the carry.
Again, Clayton had a heck of a night running the ball in the first half, but with the limited amount of snaps that North Putt has had here in this second half because of the time of possession dominated by Cascade, he has been mostly neutralized here. Back to pass. Kramer looking for Bryan. Makes a one-handed grab. Nice catch there by Miles Bryan, the senior wide receiver for North Putt.
That was a highlight reel right there. Look at this. Well-thrown ball. Now take a look at this catch. You're talking about concentration.
Through the rain.
Left hand, 360, and comes down with it.
Big first down grab there out to the 46.
I'd say that's pretty talented.
North Putnam going to start throwing the ball here a lot more, it seems, as they get it out there to Braden Glaze, his first catch of the night, but he falls backward. Loss of a few yards.
I like the fact that what he's trying to find, what the coach trying to find North Putt, are my kids still playing hard? And indeed they are. They're trying to make plays.
Kramer now with 7 wide receivers for him to choose from. 3 down linemen. That's all they had. And there's another big grab. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. That's Bryan again.
Been a while since I've seen 7 receivers.
That was 3 down linemen.
Yeah. Well, you can only have 7 of them, or 5 of them can't go out for a pass, but everybody else can.
And so North Putnam getting a little creative here. Again, 3 down linemen. Bringing it out now, there is Glaze again, and he gets wrapped up in the backfield. So with 3 down linemen, this is kind of looking like 8-man football here, Jan.
Well, the 5 can't go. 5 have to stay back. So even though they look like there's only 3 linemen, the stretch people, if you watch, are not going out for passes. 5 of them have to be on the line, so they're ineligible.
It's now back to 5 down linemen, but still going to the air as Kramer feels the pressure, and because of that pressure, he throws that one off the mark, out of bounds.
Kramer under pressure by Cartmel throws the ball incomplete.
And what you have to do if you're Cascade here is really, and I love this as a defensive line player, when a team has to pass. You can take a little weight off your hand, and your mission is to flat out get after the quarterback.
Clock stopped inside of 8 minutes to go here in this ball game. Here's a dump off here to Clayton. He has the first down and a lot more as he gets across the 25.
I tell you, I realize that North Putt's not ahead here, and they have the advantage of Cascade playing some prevent here, so they're playing a little bit softer and not near as many people. But boy, you got to admire the fact North Putt is still trying to give it everything they can.
Hand off to Clayton, and he is decked right there across the 20-yard line. So North Putnam, realizing the urgency of the situation, has moved the ball down pretty efficiently and also creatively. Kramer again on the quick handoff to Clayton. He tries to cut back into the inside. Not many yards gained there. In fact, actually, that's a solid gain, about 5 yards or so, close to a first down.
On the carry.
So call it 3rd down and 2 now, so a gain of 3. But it's certainly crunch time here for the Cougars. Direct snap to Farmer, or rather, excuse me, Clayton. And he falls forward towards the first down marker. He is right at it, say the officials. And they're going to say it is just shy. 4th down and inches here, Jan.
Yeah, gotta go. Gotta go. You're behind, gotta go. Boy, and if they can find the end zone here, they still have a little live. Give them credit here for just keep playing hard.
Kramer gonna keep it on the sneak.
Boy,
that's awfully close.
That didn't go very far, though, to see the spot.
It looked like it may have gone backwards, actually.
And let me tell you what that young man's going into. He's going into sales. He was trying to sell. That ball went farther than I think perhaps it did.
And it looks like Kramer took a slight hit to, well, a place that's not very comfortable.
I think we're going to measure this one, Kurt.
So the official timeout on the field here, as they will bring the chain gang out.
I think he got a stinger
to get the measurement.
He immediately got up and was really trying to sell the spot to the official. I like it. You always tell the guy, you can always tell who the football player is going to go into sales.
You got to love the extra effort.
Oh, yeah.
So stretching it out, it is going to be short.
Yeah, about
and a
4 or
big
5 inches.
Turnover on downs forced by the Cascade defense.
Well, you know, let's give North Putt a lot of credit, Kurt. You know, they fought and clawed and tried to make something happen. Just unfortunately for them, fell a little short. And Cascade holds.
So barring any last-minute heroics, Cascade is in a very good position now after that big stop on 4th down. And now if you're Cascade, you can just do exactly what you did at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, and that's run the clock.
And Cascade will host Speedway next week. Speedway's a pretty good ball club. They're 3-2. But that's going to be a really good test for this Cascade ball club.
And that will be their final home game of the regular season. So another handoff will keep the clock running. Now the Cougars still have all 3 of their timeouts, which they can certainly use if they wish.
Good for a gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
North Putt will host West Vigo next week. Tonight, going into tonight's ball game, they were 2-3.
West Vigo, another conference opponent in the WIC. Trebley will hand the ball off to Farmer, and he gets across the first down marker and a lot more.
Farmer's got to have easily over 100 yards rushing today.
I would assume to say it's close to 200 at this point.
He has been solid. Give his front life a ton of credit, but he first time to see him this year, and he has flat out been impressive on both sides of the ball. Really like the way he plays football. You mentioned the fact that he just looks like that guy who loves it, and he does. Players who love to play this game work hard, prepare their bodies, and then put it out on the field, and he certainly has done all that tonight.
5 minutes left to go here in this one. Trebley again hands it off to Farmer, who is tackled awkwardly but appears to be just fine, but gets a solid gain of about 4 yards.
I want to thank the fine people at Cascade for their hospitality, and
absolutely
super fun tonight here to come to homecoming.
A come from behind effort here for Cascade at homecoming.
That's right. Good call, Kurt.
Again, they scored.
Didn't start out good for Cascade, but looks like short of something, it's going to end good for them. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
26 unanswered points here by Cascade here in this one. As the rain starting to come down a little bit more heavily here of late. And here's Farmer. Oh my goodness. He has a big window. He jumps right through it. A huge 66-yard touchdown scamper by Liam Farmer.
Well, he may not be homecoming king, but he certainly is football king tonight. This young man has put on a show. No question about it. Man, he shot out there like a cannon, didn't he? And he was not going to be denied, and he is at least 200 now.
I would be safe to say that is probably true. That's also his third touchdown of the night, giving him now 15 total rushing touchdowns on the year, 17 overall.
Well, it's great that there's some film of such a production night for the young man, especially at homecoming. I told you there's two things you remember, homecoming and sectional. Well, you kind of remember everything else. You don't forget these two guys.
Direct snap to Devin Weigel goes for 2 points, making it 40-14 here for Cascade. We'll take a timeout here with 4 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
40-14 as Cascade getting a lot more comfortable here over North Putnam here late in the fourth quarter. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Endeavor Communications, who offers a variety of internet speeds that fits your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Contact us at WeEndeavor.com for more information. Jan Bozier, Kurt Darling here with you. Jan, pretty solid night here for Cascade. Considering their start, they do know how to finish.
Yeah, we've mentioned a few times now, it's not how you start, but how you finish. And they've just really took that challenge of falling behind early and put it on their shoulders. You know, the coaches can prepare you, tell you what to do, but at the end of the day, you got to execute.
Another touchback here for kicker Chase Schnarr, who has had a solid night kicking the ball on special teams. He's had 2 touchbacks in a row now here late in this one.
You mentioned that Cascade, you know, obviously lost to Lutheran last week, who's, if not the best team in 1A, they're one of the top 2. So that was a tough one. Played them tough for a while, but the question would be how would they rebound from that? You know, competing with a really, really good football team and coming into homecoming, a lot of mental preparation there. You got to gut check yourself, how you're going to react to the loss. And how are you going to come back? And the coaches did an excellent job of getting these young guys ready to go.
Handoff here to Claycomb, who tries to bust his own run and gets a first down there. Claycomb has had a solid night running the ball, but in the end, this defensive unit here for Cascade has really been solid here in the second half.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Again, Cascade going to be facing Speedway, Jan, as you alluded to earlier here next week. Again, that'll be their final home game, so that'll be senior night here for Cascade. Homecoming and senior night back-to-back here for the Cadets before they finish off the season at Monrovia and then at Cardinal Ritter on October 7th and October 14th.
Well, you mentioned the Cascade defense. After giving up 14, they have not given up anything, at least so far in this second half. So defense got to be pretty happy about their second half performance.
Clock continuing to run inside of 3 minutes. This is a Cascade squad that averaged 29.5 points per game given up on defense. Well below that average here tonight. They had a shutout against Cloverdale, but then gave up 50 to a tough team in Lutheran. That is a hard turnaround going against a team like Cloverdale and then going up against Lutheran right afterwards. Here's Kramer looking to pass, finds Bryan across midfield and good for a first down down to the 40.
Good for a first down. He stopped on the
And for
play.
North Putnam,
Number 22,
you know,
JT Rochon.
they are not a bad-looking football team.
No, yeah, that's a good point, and I completely agree. They have certainly showed signs of improvement tonight at times, and it's a team that I think has obvious room to even improve even more if they'll just continue with that desire to get better.
Ball carrier tackled right at the line of scrimmage there. That's Claycomb again.
I mean, this is a team you think about, North Bud, who I think was averaging like 50 yards rushing on the ground, and they came in and got that in the first period.
Per contest, North Putnam averaging 186 yards on the ground per game. They had 6 fumbles coming into the night. They had not given up a fumble at all here in this one. As the pass goes out to Arik Kramer, and he gets out to the 30.
150. Did I say 50? I think you're right. Because Cascade's the one that really dominates on the ground, and North Putt is more dominant in passing. So I had him, let me see here. Yeah, 50, running about 180 plus. Yeah. Still, pretty good effort.
So the clock stopped here right now as they get a few things adjusted. North Putnam playing out of the Green Division in the Western Indiana Conference to get themselves gathered.
Brownsburg 24, Westfield 7. That one late in the
Fans cross country will be in action.
Final.
So again, Lutheran doing what Lutheran always good at, and that is finishing out games.
They're back on track now.
So out of the timeout, a pass outside now to Murphy. And he gets into the end zone.
Yes, he does.
Kramer's pass to Murphy, good for a touchdown.
Wesley Murphy getting his first touchdown of the season here late in the ball game.
How about New Pal beating Greenfield 42-7? New Pal's for the real deal, aren't they? They're back in full stride.
And Greenfield is not a bad football team.
No, they're not. They're not. New Pal beating Westfield early on, just really hammering teams there.
So the extra point goes up and through the uprights here for North Putnam. So that's the first touchdown that the Cougars have been able to score since midway through the second quarter. The defense of Cascade really holding firm here as we get set for the kickoff here.
I got to tell you, I like it. I like the fact that they didn't just clock watch and see, let's wait to get this game over. Keep playing, got to score. That tells you that's effort. That's effort. That's what you want out of your kids. Never give up. That's a huge touchdown, I think, for the spirit of North Putnam program.
Again, North Putnam likely going to be dropping here to 1-5 on the year. This is also a North Putnam squad that hasn't had a winning season. Not as many years as Cascade. Their last winning season was back in 2019 when they went 8-3. North Putt also last won a WIC title in 2018. That's when they beat Cloverdale 34-0 in the WIC championship game. And of course, the Western Indiana Conference, this is actually one of the rare conferences in the state where they actually play a championship game because they're split into 2 divisions.
There's a few that do that. I like it. I think it adds just a little more to the regular season. I'm trying to think of the conference. Hoosier Conference does it as well. Hamilton Heights, Lewis Cass, those guys have a conference championship game as well. I believe it's the Hoosier.
So Polly puts his boot into it, and wisely. That's going to be Savini just falling to the ground. And we can expect Cascade to just run a few running plays and run out the clock here.
Yeah, they may just take some knees, quite honestly.
So with 1:39 left to go.
North Putt can stop the clock. Don't think they will, but we'll see what happens. I would think the Cascade may just take a couple knees and force North Putt, if they're going to burn timeout, to burn them. Then they may.
North Putnam still has 2 timeouts left to go. So 40 points here this season, second most points that they've scored in a single game.
Yep. Victory formation, going to take the knees.
And the I believe that chance coming from the Cascade student section. And so Trebley takes the need to close this one out. This was the 51st all-time meeting between these two squads. Cascade going to be taking their 29th win out of those 51.
I'll tell you, it's a big step for that young freshman. He played pretty well overall. Just continues to get better, and that's what you want. Boy, you got to think, man, 3 years from now, he's going to be a solid player. Good player now. Not that I'm saying he's not a good player now, but you just see the opportunity he's taken advantage of as a freshman.
Again, one of the rare times, as we mentioned, where we have 2 freshman starting quarterbacks for these 2 squads here tonight. Christian Farmer doing a solid job throwing the ball, as did Brady Trebley. And as for these 2 squads, these teams used to be conference opponents back in the West Central Conference days. Also in the WIC Conference for a little while before Cascade joined the Indiana Crossroads. Well, there is talk that these 2 squads might be reunifying in the WIC Conference again, as Cascade making plans to do that here in the very near future in about 2 to 4 years or so. And so there you have it. Time will run down.
Well, Mr. Farmer put on quite the show tonight. Excellent, excellent job. Give his offensive line tons and tons of credit, but that young man flat out come to play tonight and put on a show, not just offensively, but he was a stud defensively.
Zeros on your scoreboard. The final here, Cascade coming from behind here at homecoming, 40-21. Your final score in this one, Cascade moving to 500 on the season, getting their 3rd win of the year. So with that, we'll take a quick timeout. Don't go anywhere. Postgame show coming at you next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Hi there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we do Query and Schultz on ISC Sports Network. And Derek, unlike Ted Lasso, we have a 3rd season.
That's right. Season number 3 right now, ISCSportsNetwork.com. You can see episodes on Comcast 81 as well, Mondays at 7:30. I'm talking about our show, Jake, this beloved show that people tune into every single week. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, so many ways to watch Query and Schultz every Monday, 7:30. Tune in and hang out with us.
And you don't have to be a goldfish. You'll remember everything we say.
Welcome into the post-game show here on the ISC Sports Network. Cascade celebrating a homecoming victory over North Putnam, 40-21. The post-game show brought to you by Endeavor Communications, the fastest broadband speeds in Indiana. Visit us at weendeavor.com, and by Wabash College. Visit Wabash College today at wabash.edu. Jan Bozier, Kurt Darling here with you. Jan, needless to say, some excellent tenacity shown by the Cadets here tonight, going down early 14-6, scoring 26 unanswered before giving up that late touchdown, but needless to say, a good win for the Cadets.
No doubt about it. I think they showed their coaching staff, their teammates, their crowd, and a lot of people on television tonight that the character of this ball club just got stronger because they got down, as you mentioned, we've mentioned multiple times, and they really kind of motivated them. Listen, we do not want to be on TV tonight and lose homecoming. Everybody's going to be talking about that. So they flipped a gear, and I thought really played aggressive football, took it to New Pal. And, of course, how can you not talk about Farmer in the effort he put on tonight?
Farmer is getting well over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns rushing here tonight for Liam Farmer. He is definitely a player to watch this season. Also, Brady Trebley having a good night throwing the ball as well as handing it off. Meanwhile, for North Putnam, though, they have some work to do. But again, as we talked about, they are a talented squad. It's just a matter of getting all the pieces in the right place.
It's a step. It's another step you talked about culture and building what they want to build at North Putt. And it's going to, when you build things, at times you take a step back. You may take 2 steps forward, take a step back. At the end of the day, they took a step forward because they showed some running, which they hadn't really shown. They shown that they will not quit. They showed that tonight. So there's 2 or 3 or 4 really big positive, I think, for North Putt in their venture to get really, really good.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. We'll take another final timeout. Don't go anywhere. One final time here, coming back here from the ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable. Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. So that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Cascade celebrating a win here at homecoming at midfield here. They get a big one, 40-21 over North Putnam here. Jan, it has been a heck of a night here for Cascade. Now they get set to take on Speedway. Meanwhile, North Putnam going to go back home against West Vigo next week.
Yeah, and what you're going to go back and watch film if you're Cascade, going to highlight the good and talk about the bad and see what can we correct, because Speedway is a good ball club. What would it be? What would it mean to Cascade if they could beat Speedway? That would give them 4 victories, and that's more than they had since this coaching staff took over. So big gig coming up for Cascade.
Indeed, indeed. As Cascade's coach Connor Simmons getting his 9th win of his career, Scott Moore getting his 5th loss of his career at North Putnam. Jan, pleasure working with you tonight, my friend.
As always, my friend. Good to see you, buddy.
Definitely. For Jan Bozier, for Wes Wolf, as well as Alan Hughes, David Cohen, as well as Ian Wheeler, Vincent Morellas, and Greg Sharton. I'm Kurt Darling saying so long till next time. Cascade beats North Putnam tonight here on the ISC Sports Network. So long, everybody.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable. Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. So that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.